Your ship is well, that only Jolly Roger has been through hell. Yo ho, on an adventure we go. In the heated high seas, we travel with ease until we reach the outer edge and freeze. The Arctic chill like a very steep hill through the darkness led by our will. Yo ho, on an adventure we go to beyond the outer limits of society, broadcasting the reality. The pirates will always steal the show. From WPRPN, you know. Yo ho, on an adventure we go. Docked our vessels in the Stockholm harbor. No landlubbers will fight for you harder. Your old first mate went AWOL after a drinking till haul. The legacy of pirate radio is strong. I hope our mates will come along. The changes we seek may not be long. That is why I wrote this song. And we go ho ho, on adventure we go. Welcome everybody, friends, folks, foes, and fellow pirate mateys to our latest live streaming weekly edition of World Pirate Radio News. It's show segment number 330. I am your host, as always, the Robin Hood's Chief Communications Officer, Jaffe Ryder. WPRPN.com is the website we will direct your attention to. Sign up is free. Be sure as well to check out the show description end of things. Of course, as always, we have a Patreon presence. You may be interested in taking note of. We've got pirate booty and swag up for grabs as well. Via Galactic Fire is the primary location. There are a couple of others you can find off of the show description end of things. If you'd like to help us out on PayPal, pirate1radio@protonmail.com. Also is a really helpful email if you have any show suggestions or guest ideas you'd like to bounce off of us. Digital love in any form or fashion, always appreciated. Half of everything that we do manage to generate goes directly back to charity. Hashtag WWRHD. What would Robin Hood do? Liking, commenting, sharing, remembering to hit subscription, notification buttons. Blast away. You don't smash them. Not down here in Skullport Harbor. You blast away. And it's really helpful for everyone, of course, with, once again, a significant share, as much as half of everything that we do manage to generate going directly back to charity. How many other live streaming operations actually embrace that ethos and philosophy? So, having said all of that, I believe we... Oh, one last thing, of course, as always, remember to pass word along to friends, family, and co-workers. really helpful, synergetic strategy as far as the good old trusted and true moccasin telegraph technology is concerned. Friends, family, and co-workers. Canadian homelessness in the spotlight this go round, and it's a major issue these days. So we're going to work on getting into that a little more here as the show unfolds. Homelessness everywhere, actually, if you think about it, but in Canada in particular. Why? One of the world's largest nations, face of the planet. What's not being done? How can it be so inadequately managed and governed? And Canada itself was founded on the premise and basis peace, order, and good government. What happens when you're not having much of that good governance any longer? That could lead to some potential, some pretty serious consequences. Obviously, they could do a hell of a lot better job. There's no doubt about that. But before we dive more headlong into the issues of the day, let's welcome to the show uh, three of our American Confederates and pirate compadres or mateys, as it were. Chris Dubetter out of Atlanta, Phoenix, Arizona. We've got Sonia Galactec returning once again here to lend a little support, always appreciated. And Roger Hansen via West Frankfurt, Illinois. So thank you and welcome to all three of you. Great you could make it. And hopefully you've had a chance to check out the talking points by this stage. Or
Hi,
not.
Jeff.
Hi, yeah.
Hi, Jeff. How the heck are you?
Not so bad. Just working on the getting a few of the things taken care of, that as we always do here with when it comes to getting the show off and running. We got to drop by Facebook, of course, and Telegram. So why don't we hand it to the three of you, kind of roundabout way each can introduce yourself, starting with Sonia for listeners out there who might not know about you or galacticfire.com.
Sweet. Yeah, galacticfire.com, TEC instead of TIC on the galactic part. And right now I'm doing t-shirts and stuff and helping a few folks out with websites and all that. But other than that, just kind of, hanging out on the pirate ship right now, type of stuff.
Down Skullport Harbor, yeah,
Right, right.
that's right. So speaking of various people and personalities you've been lending your support to, look no further than former Montauk Camp Hero survivor, one of the few, from
Right.
the sounds
Yes.
of it, Christian Laterra, who himself will be joining us this coming Friday night, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 11 out on the East Coast. That's 12 p.m. noon here via the Tokyo and Seoul time zone. Is that not the case? That's, I think, what we have booked.
Yeah, absolutely. And then after that, we have lovely Jahan from Boundless Authenticity podcast. And he's going to be on the next Friday. So
I'm
yep.
Boundless Authenticity. Let's hear that name
Mm-hmm.
once again. We got cut off by the Facebook.
Jahan, and I'm not sure how to pronounce his last name. I think it's Satar. something
I
to that effect.
I
Yeah.
bet you almost Iranian or Persian ancestry, something
Well,
like
he's
that.
out of Barbados, so there you go.
Wow, yeah, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
We'll
Very
just have,
interesting guy for sure.
yeah, yeah. And he's someone who actually has hosted a Christian on his show. So what we're seeing here
Hmm.
is a little bit of the cross fertilization taking
Hmm.
place via the wider digital underground
Yeah,
landscape. So
for
good
sure.
stuff.
Yeah.
Not sure how
And
much.
Roger actually got to meet him recently, and they kind of hit it off a little bit. So maybe they'll be doing some interviewing, cross fertilization type stuff eventually. Yeah.
That's great. Just hopefully that they don't get
They
too
don't
much.
fall in love.
Yeah, too much of like that cross fertilization fluid,
Ew.
sprayed across each other, or
Ew.
however it all works. I don't know. I'm not really
Really?
much into the
Really?
biology.
Why
Well,
do you gotta go there?
if they were
Okay.
flowers, I'm just,
Okay.
hey, what do flowers
Right.
do?
Well,
Just
I don't know if they spray
fertilize. When
anything
I
or
think
whatever,
fertilization,
but
I think flowers, like dandelions and things like that. Nothing.
yeah,
Where are you
daisies.
going with this, Sonia? Get your thinking
Well,
out of the gutter.
the spray thing just threw me off, and
Well, what do you?
it's just,
Oh, it
it's not
did
even.
it?
I mean, a little bit, yeah,
You've had
a little bit,
you got a
yeah.
little experience in that department. Is that right? Or
I I have no comment
uh-huh.
further on that.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Right. Moving along.
Yeah,
Uh
moving along.
hey, Chris, do better out of Atlanta. Now, I during the audio tech check,
Anna.
hey, uh Stern's going out of business shortly. I'm not sure. You might want to drop that little catchphrase. I'm not sure. Not
I'm
sure.
taking it over. What are you talking about?
That's one
It's
way of
mine.
looking at
My
it
catchphrase.
as well. That works, sure. So, all right. Now, but you were referencing some automotive work that you're doing as well as house flipping. I'm not sure how much you want to get
uh,
into that, but rebuilding
I was just
cars.
talking.
Mhm. Busy.
I was just talking about us, like just talking, shop.
Or you're gonna flip some houses in support of the live stream, I guess is what you're getting at. Is that right?
Sure,
It's just,
yeah,
the
totally.
10-20% cut. It's not that much.
Just half my proceeds,
No, we have 10-20% coming our way, and then we have to divide that down the
There you go.
middle. That's how the things work here. So yeah. And of course you just wrapped up an epic, for those of our listeners out there who are not aware. It was a
An epic fail.
no. This is in support of many things, consciousness raising, and I think, was your mom a cancer survivor? Is that right?
Yep, yep, yep,
Okay, and she's still with us.
yep.
Good. Okay, and so this is in part. Well, tell us a little bit more. Just kind of nutshell overview, summary, thumbnail sketch of what this you know this travel log, the journey along the east coast of the Americas entailed.
Well, I mean, it was a bike trip that I was planning up the East Coast Greenway Trail, and it starts in Key West, Florida, goes all the way up the coast. It's to Calas, Maine. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Calais, whatever.
Classy ass,
And place up in Maine. Yeah, that place.
classy ass Maine.
And then
It's a fun place to visit.
it's only like 30 some
What
odd
this?
percent, 30 to 40% done so far, the
Uh-huh.
trail. So the rest is like road riding. So it's really not like the safest thing to do. But it was interesting. Got, a lot of stress, and got to experience some things and see some things that I never would have seen from that, if I wouldn't have done that. So getting to see that perspective is totally unique and just wow. It's hard to explain unless you actually do it.
Right.
So,
Uh,
But yeah, once I get done with the bike trail, I plan to hike the Appalachian Trail back to Georgia,
Okay.
and I'm trying to do it all in one season, and that I'll be the first to do that, to complete both in one season, unless somebody else does it before I do it. But I ran out of funds once I got to South Carolina, so I got about 1,000 miles into the trip and run out of funds because most of the East Coast Greenway is not camping, which I thought it was going to be more camping. And you're in pretty much every beach town. You know what I'm saying? Your stops are along the coast, and you're in beach towns, and they don't want you camping in the beach towns unless you pay for a camping spot. And yeah, they want you to stay in their hotels and all that. So
Speaking,
I ran out of
mhm,
funds
right?
due to hotel stays.
Good God, I tell you, man, that's just really something. That's, speaking of homelessness and trying to get by, make it through without, on just a
Yeah,
shoestring budget.
we need to make camping great again.
Well, you can see now why this couch surfing thing took off in the way it did. Although that's kind of, I think, just clearly it doesn't take much to see that it's a real crapshoot. Like, you never know who you're going to end up with, right?
Mm-hmm.
As
Mm-hmm.
far as your host is concerned. Although I'm not sure, do they leave reviews with the couch surfing community? Reviews are left with how the stays went, that sort of thing, or
I'm
or
not
Most
sure how
certainly.
that works. I
They
haven't I
probably
haven't
do.
uh haven't looked into that yet.
yeah.
That's actually the first I've heard of it.
Oh, I
Mm,
see. Okay.
yeah.
Didn't know it was a
Hey,
thing.
look, I'm having issues with my camera right now, just to get things set up properly from a tech standpoint. I'm going to drop this call. I forgot to do it from the start. I should have taken care of business on that front right from the beginning. I'm going to drop the call and then get back in touch with you guys here, and we'll be able to pull up the screen share so that people can see what we actually look like, not just a the weekly slideshow sort of approach. So stand by, if you would, everyone. And having said that, do exactly as we just discussed. Yeah, the teams, we tried to pull up get the camera operating uh, in optimal form and fashion, but it just wasn't kicking in for whatever reason. I think anyone that has put live streams together will know that here we go again. Here we go again. Now, I'm not sure if this is going to stand by. They're going to get your channel's open. I'm not sure. Everyone just answered the call there. Where's Chris? We
Yeah,
lost Chris, did we?
yeah,
This is kind of a little peculiar. A little
I
different
can
than the way
get them.
Skype was set up. It's fine. I actually just sent the request to join. So, and that's the way that you've got to go about doing it with this
Well,
new format and approach. Go ahead.
big man's back, so he's right
Yep.
there for you.
Yep.
Who's
Good
oh
morning.
yeah, Chris. So where were we at exactly? You're traveling the East Coast of the Americas, and
Mm-hmm.
what do you
Mm-hmm.
call
Mm-hmm.
a lot of what kind of towns? They're coastal towns where
Beach time.
beach. Okay, and what's your typical East Coast uh beach town look and feel like? The cops, are they all over you? Like they love picking on
No, I
the.
haven't had any
No,
problem. I
they're
haven't had
okay.
any problems with any police so
You're a
far.
vagrant.
Um,
Vagrancy
yeah,
laws.
right. Actually, I went up and talked to a couple of police. I was like, "Hey, I'm gonna be staying because I was in the Keys, and there was like no camping, and there's no all the camping like locations that they have like 3 or 4 tent locations at each little campground, and you have to book the spot like months ahead. So
Jeez.
yeah. And then, like, even trying to book places months ahead, like, you don't know where you're going to be at. So, like, if you start your trip here and you only ride 20 miles that day, then the next day you're going to be maybe 20 to 40 miles off from where you should be. You know what I mean? So,
Right.
there's no way to schedule it in
Right.
advance.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it's kind of hit and miss, happenstance, random. You never know. Yeah, you might run into like some mechanical
Yeah,
issues along the
mechanical,
way.
weather,
Hmm.
body, you know,
Setbacks.
whatever.
Yeah. So,
Mm-hmm.
so how helpful were they? Were
The
they
police,
in providing
they
information or advice? Yeah.
no, they were. It was pretty like
Useless.
not, yeah, useless. But I think it may have alerted them to be looking out for. Hey, let's leave this bicycle dude alone or something.
So
Because
Right.
I
they
didn't get messed with. So
yeah. Well, okay, it might have worked out for you. And
I slept at some city halls and stuff. It was
oh, how
like,
does that work? So
Wow.
what as far as the laws go that you're untouchable at City Hall?
I don't know. I just was like, fuck it. They're gonna come fuck with me. Come on, here. I'm
Right.
going to your doorstep. Come
Yeah,
on, fuck with me.
City Hall. That's and then you didn't get hassled with at all.
Not at all. No.
That's pretty cool, man. So maybe there is a little freedom still remaining in America. Just it's a shrinking.
But I mean,
We lost his sound.
it was just I'm laying my head down, getting a little 3, 4, 5 hours, whatever I can get, and then I'm packing up and leaving. So
Yeah. Well, years ago I spent time traveling, hitchhiking, that sort of thing, through Western British Columbia, Western Canada mostly, and the States, uh, all the way down to Baja and back. It was quite an adventure up through Reno and Eugene, Oregon, and down through San Francisco and along the coast on the way down. Which is that? I'm not. Is that the I-5? I don't even remember now, but it's a hell of a down through the redwoods. It's really beautiful. And then yeah, the Midwest of the U.S. was just
yeah,
mind blowing.
I-5
It was beautiful as well.
is definitely
Coastal highway.
eh, it's not the coastal highway.
Okay,
That's through that
20.
area. But if you
90,
want to get into the redwoods, it'd be the 101 probably.
not 23 or 93, nothing like that.
Mm, I
It's
don't
it's
think.
anyways.
Maybe
It's like
also,
down
but I
through
know the 101 goes up.
Bend, Oregon, and places like that. So, but anyways, it was quite. It was just something I'll always remember quite positively. Quite just it was experience of a lifetime, no doubt about it. So, but I don't think I'll ever go back to the States again. Not since September 11th. I saw what was coming down and could knew it
Yeah, I've
at
been
that
thinking
stage.
real seriously about getting the heck out of this country.
Oh yeah, maybe heading up to Canada,
No, heck no.
huh? join, join the ever burgeoning homeless community. So hey, London, Ontario. I was just watching a documentary. Speaking of which, London, frickin' Ontario. That's technically not an F-bomb, by the way, just to let you know. It's not a hard, it's a very soft F-bomb, which kind of doesn't do much damage. No frickin' A. But yeah, the growing
Okay.
problems like with street drugs, for example, and um, along with a whole multitude of other issues, including uh, the displacement of the the white Europeans, basically the original settlers of London. And this is just a microcosm, of course, but they've been displaced now in just the past few years. There's been a ridiculous 300%. 300. That's right. You heard it correctly here, folks. 300% rise in the number of, I think it's like African, Asian, and Middle Eastern immigrants, essentially big money, deep pockets. Speaking of house flipping and whatnot, uh, so that uh, those different ethnic uh, categories and communities very much on the rise. And white Europeans dropping in numbers by 11% in just 2 or 3 very short years. The fact is, bottom line, folks, Canadian immigration has been weaponized. I'm not sure how difficult that is for some people to see or recognize. Some people, clearly they'll go to their graves kicking and screaming that that's not the case. But uh, how much more obvious does it have to be? The Kalergi plan. This is something too that really kind of pisses me off. The way that with the mainstream media, Sky News Australia, G and B, GB News out of the UK, and both of them, I'm not sure if you say, is the expression that they're boosters for Israel, no questions asked. Israel can do no wrong as far as they're circumcised. But you know, but at the same time, uh, while at the same time, they make no mention of the Kalergi plan. They talk about illegal immigration, and that is an issue, but they never state quite clearly. It's just like, is it one word or two? Kalergi plan. Let's put things within a more historic context and how it has been planned for some time. It's been on the table, it's been in the works, and now they're playing their cards. And I mean, hey, it's weaponization of the it's warfare. You could look at it in a sense. Elections really is what a lot of it boils down to, of course, and so that the ruling party in Canada, the so-called the Liberals, the big red, and it is red for a reason, it would seem, machine can continually reestablish its place, uh, and they use that. It's been done now since the old man Trudeau's time in office. Um, while from what I'm aware of, the similar strategy and approach has been taken via the UK. Was taken during the Tony Blair years, the 2 terms, I guess it was, with him in office, uh, in support of the Labour Party. So open door immigration policy with just a total hands off approach, hands off approach. While via the USA, we see a completely different story. It seems. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong with Trump and his approach, his way of doing things. That they're just not putting up with it. The ICE raids, and so forth, even to the point now where they're talking about, I guess, having ICE posted. It's the way to do it too. I mean, you know, have them at the when it comes time for elections, have the ICE people there out, fully making themselves fully visible for the public to see. And from there, I mean, what do you think? How many illegals do you think will be showing up to vote on election day with that being the case? Uh, and not that it really matters, because you've got all these these boxes of ballots with a phony, with the way they've got things rigged, obviously by hook or by crook, to come out the winners, with these boxes of predetermined ballots being shipped in. So, but anyways, homelessness in Canada is the real issue we need to be looking at, or I'd like to look at, along with anything else that's strikes your fancy. Here's another thing too. Think about homeless in the USA, where you got veterans on the streets, billions of dollars going overseas to Ukraine and elsewhere. But let just I don't know how things have changed under current Trump regime, but billions of dollars in support of the Ukraine and other foreign nation states, while people at home are left to suffer. Similar state of affairs in Canada, unfortunately, and to me that just makes no sense, other than the fact that these high level the political power players are completely betraying their constituents. The highest. Here's the thing, though. They talk about treason. Treason never doth prosper. Maybe some of our listeners have heard that. Maybe some here, part of the round table. Treason never doth prosper. Conspiracy. Conspiracy never doth prosper. What's the reason? For if treason doth prosper, none dare call it treason. You've heard the catchphrase, I guess, before, many of you. None dare call it conspiracy. And it took me a while to understand that, but not the sharpest tool in the shed, obviously, intellectually. But yeah, it's like you've got so many people cashing in, so many people who are making money hand over fist. It becomes a real major cottage industry from things like illegal immigration, where you can say this is total bullshit. What the hell's going on here? This is treason at the highest level. But none dare call it treason, because if you do, you'll be targeted, and they'll make an example of you. So similar with the conspiracy, none dare call it conspiracy. If you want to look that up, Roger, it's actually, just type in Harrington. I think it was like Sir John Harrington, around the time, just shortly after Shakespeare, if memory serves, and just type, none dare call it treason. So there was
I have a question.
Yeah, sure, far away.
It's from the chat. One of my very, very good friends wants to know if you have any opinions on the Venezuela and drug-filled boat being blown up. I don't know anything about this, so.
Oh, well, it's I don't
No, I
think
don't.
I just saw it before going live today, and I don't think the smugglers felt too much, really. I think, hopefully, they got snuffed out. That was it. Then it was game over, and it sends a strong message. And how many more boats are going to be coming?
Right. I
And
have Yeah.
And if that, I mean, it's hardball, I guess, rules. Serious. Just don't sending a very clear message.
Right.
Trump is obviously, and yeah, my personal take and opinion. If that's who they were, like it wasn't. Yeah, it's just.
Right.
Well, I mean, do you have a different way of looking at it? That
Not so much.
those poor drug smugglers, like bringing fentanyl in. We need more fentanyl. The West needs more fentanyl.
At least our ship didn't get blown up. Okay.
Well, and now fewer now it won't be Americans getting killed, right? Every
I
time that
mean, our pirate ship, Jeffy.
oh, I don't think well, to see when you're
A little joke
decentralized.
there.
Well, yeah, but it's a great point. Great point, because when you're decentralized and you operate in a virtual sense, even if Jaffe disappears for whatever reason under rather, let's say peculiar circumstances, as people sometimes do, that you're not going to take over. Danny, what are you talking about? Or you're saying what? Oh, you're saying you don't want that to happen. I see. That's why he's crying. He's like, no, don't. It won't. Don't let them do it.
Meow.
Don't let them do it. You're too. I need. Who will feed me then? I need someone to feed me.
Right. Yeah, they can have.
Yeah. So there we go. So yeah, Danny, our little three-legged kitty mascot. So
Thank you
look,
for that question, Gary.
and
Appreciate your participation.
Gary, who exactly?
Gary James, he's in the chat.
This
Yeah.
is a new
He's
name and personality.
he's my Texas friend. We're when we move there, we're gonna be hanging out with him for the most part for a long time. It's gonna be fun.
Okay. And do you care? You've
Yeah.
talked about that on air already. I'm
He's
not sure.
I
Uh-huh.
maybe I have, yeah.
You
He's
did.
the guy I started tattooing on back in the day. So I've talked about him many times. Roger knows when he interviewed me. This is the guy. So
Right.
I finally drug him over here to join us in the comments and things. So thank you, Gary. Appreciate it.
Yeah. So
hmm
good stuff. Good stuff. And you've
For
known
sure.
him then for how many years?
Oh, 90 something. It's been like over 30 years, I'm sure.
So he's
Long
gonna help you.
time.
He's gonna help you get settled in and set up
Yep.
down in Fort
Yep.
Worth. Yeah. Good.
That's
You know,
right.
and
That's right.
I heard people talking about Austin. Some saying it's really not so shit hot as some. Like this is when within the context the whole Joe Rogan experience and the what they call it, the comedy mothership. You know, getting
Yeah. Mm.
put in place there. So because it's just that
Ah,
there's too many. It's a little too. Um, well, just yeah, it's just the way things, the whole community, the I don't know. You get pros and cons to everything, I guess. But some people don't like it as much as others for any number of different reasons, basically. So a lot of homeless. Speaking of the homeless, homelessness as an issue, and I'm not sure about the people that are all strung out, on the streets, and how they're dealt with. What is it usually like in Texas as far as that goes? Do they allow, like, people to be all kind of intoxicated or whacked out on some substance or another, not
maybe
knowing?
in Waco.
Waco, the wackos from
Maybe in Waco.
Waco.
Yeah,
Really?
that's a silly joke. Sorry.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. Really, I haven't spent too much time there. I was there a couple of years ago, like maybe 10 or so. And I didn't notice anything like that, but I didn't really get out too much. So,
Shout out to Zap Zap. Hey, now
Zap Zap.
who's Zap? We keep seeing a Zap Zap character
You don't know who
popping.
Zap Zap is?
Well, no,
That's
it keeps who the hell we
that's
see.
our wonderful friend Christian.
Oh, that's Christian Latte.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's him.
nom de plume, nom de guerre. Nom de guerre, yeah. Been
Yeah,
talk of cartel retaliation. Well, you know what? Well, that's the way. Yeah, it's well. Who do you think really is going to come out on top? if there's an all-out, like, really, they know, they know where the leaders live. They know everything, and that's part of what they're, I guess, why, with Trump sending the destroyers down into down to the I guess they went through the Panama Canal. There's a few that passed through the Panama Canal just a couple days ago. So, but they've got all the intel on everyone down there that's really, you know, running the show as far as international,
Hmm.
illicit drug smuggling is concerned. Whether it's what do they do? What do they work with? Fentanyl is the number one item. Coke, of course. What else? So, but we'll see, because they're just going to blow them up and their families and everything. And it's like, well, do you want to keep retaliating or not? Or you know, so who's really to say? But how about this Shine Bomb character? You know, she's I thought she was pro-Israeli. It turns out she's Jewish, but so the story
No.
goes, she's anti-Israel. That's a pretty dangerous position to take, you would think. You know,
Wow.
if, like, we know, like, and, for those people out there who are not up to speed on things, just because you're Jewish doesn't mean you have
Mm,
to be pro-Israel. In fact, more non-Jews support Israel than Jewish people themselves. How's that for ironic? The vast number of pro-Israel supporters are Gentile goy.
huh.
Suckers, the Bible Belt, and this Christian Zionism thing. I've kind of yet to get my head wrapped around that, but you know, other than the fact that you look at what's taking place in Gaza right now, do you really think Christ would support that? Who thinks Christ would support that? Really, you know? And why are these useful idiot Christians, so-called Christian Zionists, backing the genocide? Are they that thick in the head? Like, and their hearts are hard, as
Right.
Christ talked about, so their hearts are hard, so anyways, a nice, decent picture of Van Morrison there live in concert recently in Belfast. Trying to download and get my hands on all the top quality uh, content that he put out there over this past weekend. Of course, it was his 80th birthday, and
Mm,
some pretty groovy stuff, man. He is the coolest cat in the world, and the one really with the greatest amount of integrity as well. He has integrity, and a lot of these other phonies in the world of entertainment and show business performance, there's just so few, but he's taken his lumps along the way too, and it's kind of school of hard knocks in some ways. But anyways, thank you for coming out and helping with that show this past weekend, Sonia and
absolutely.
Roger. Did you
Absolutely.
learn anything?
Not really, no.
By the way, let's pretend we're not seeing this Hulk Hogan picture right
Uh,
now, which I don't know what the hell that's all about. The
Yeah.
Undertaker there on the left, I grabbed it off the interwebs. Like, I don't know, I don't even want to know what that's all about.
right.
But he was not Hulk Hogan was not exactly the world of wrestling's most, in the eyes of the fans, he might have been, but the other wrestlers themselves, he was not especially, looked upon all that fondly. So
He ended up getting in trouble for steroids. It almost ruined his career.
eat your vegetables, take your vegetables, do your exercise, get your sleep, say your prayers. Kind of like a little bit of
Oh,
Macho Man, Randy
Well,
Savage.
he could have
oh,
just
don't
been telling
ever,
people to do steroids instead of
no,
eating vegetables. That would have been something,
don't,
huh?
I guess then he wouldn't have been a hypocrite, at least. If
Right?
no,
At least, right.
don't ever compare the Hawkster to frickin' Macho Man. Macho Man is the ruling king of the universe, dude.
Ah, well,
No, well, the Ultimate Warrior. Never mind. I'll take that back.
yeah,
Nobody
Takes it
stands
back.
up. Even
actually,
though the Ultimate Warrior did
That's
die
funny.
from excessive use of drugs, he was the.
oh, geez. See, look at that. There we go. They shut us down. And that's because these people here on the other side of things, they stayed in the room. That was the issue. They stayed in the room. So we got to call them back up on Teams again here. Sometimes we use Jitsi. That's our VoIP of choice, voice over internet protocol. We could up our game a little bit, folks, with more support, donations through PayPal or purchase of merchandise. Just use your imagination. Patreon as well. Let's not forget. So, digital love, it all goes to a good place and a good cause. Half of which, in fact, is directly back to charity. So, but right now we are having simply to forge ahead in this genuinely, this real bush league underground digital format and approach. So bear with us as we work on reconnecting with. Well, we have one of who do we have? One of the earlier former. Looks like, oh, we got Sonia back on board. That's great.
Yep.
So hopefully, oh, Roger has reconnected as well, and now let's see if we can get. Let's see if Chris is available one more time or not. We'll call him back up. So this has changed, yeah, where you have to actually, rather than just having people in your room, and when you call the room by default, they all get, uh, they're all their teams is ringing essentially. That this is just not the case. You've got to reach out to them on an individual one by one basis. Mark as well too. I'm not sure if that's where we hear the feedback, the audio echo feedback loop. Could be Chris, but welcome, Mark. He is the luminary, really central force behind Dreagus Productions. Of course, everybody knows that, don't they? And he's gone.
Yes.
He's gone.
Mm,
What did I
shucky
say?
darns.
What? I gave him a shout out, man. I gave him a shout out. He just drops out, disappears.
Technical difficulties.
What kind of online etiquette is that? So we were talking wrestling, basically. I think there might be. No. This is stuff that I was like kind of into when I was a teenager. Of course, I tried to grow up.
I think I was
not,
11
not entirely.
last time I watched wrestling
Oh,
without being like forced to. My
oh,
second ex-husband
so
was into
cool.
that. It was like,
He's so
wow.
cool.
oh, really?
Yeah.
Everybody loved
The
wrestling.
tattoo guy. I did when I was a kid. Absolutely. It was the best thing ever. Are you kidding me?
Until everybody figured out it was fake. You know what I mean? It was
Yeah.
You,
It's a
when
little
that happened,
heartbreaking.
you reached
everybody.
the age of reason.
Yeah.
So what was that code that they had? It was, oh bloody hell, why my brain dumping right now? It wasn't like it was it's like an old Carney kind of code. I should know this, it wasn't like foo bar. It was kind of like foo bar and snafu, but it'll come to me here, I guess. It shows how much of a fan I am. Although I will, Dark Side of the Ring, great series, and thanks to my brother's recommendation, Mr. McMahon, which recently came out. And speaking of whom, he recently also happened to have his 80th birthday. Those two characters, though, Van Morrison and Vince McMahon, as far as we're talking integrity a little earlier, couldn't be any really, further apart from one another. on that basis. You know, Vince is, he did quite a lot for the world of professional wrestling, and I mean, you could say a lot of good things about him, but he's also a pretty sick, a kind of borderline, almost you could probably psychopath when it comes right down to it. I'd hate to go that far, but truth be told, I don't know.
Without him, there would have been no front room wrestling, right?
What do you mean what's front room wrestling?
You don't know about front room wrestling? I thought you was a wrestling fan, dude.
Not that much, no.
Hot chicks would get into bikinis and they would go into a front room and just completely freaking tear the entire room up, man, wrestling. And then they would videotape it and take photos and stuff. And like these chicks would just like body slam each other on the freaking coffee table and all over the place. It was really cool in pulp magazines and stuff in
What
the 80s.
what kind of magazines?
Pulp magazines.
Pulp?
Yeah, pulp magazines.
I
But
see.
check it out. It's called Front Room Wrestling, dude. It
Well,
was a really big deal back
yeah.
then.
Well, and who would the target audience for something like that be?
Hot chicks.
Oh, so hot chicks are going to be
Oh, okay.
consuming
I
that
get what
product?
you. Well,
Target audience. Not
it
the
all depends. It all
well,
depends.
mostly the majority demographic. Young guys, probably, who knows whether incel or, some kind of trailer trash, basically. Hey, he said trailer? Well, at least I didn't say retard or white murder, the N word, white,
Ha,
so yeah. But, I mean, what kind, like just people, like they got nothing better
that
to
was the
like
way it was
stimulate or
back then.
excite them, or
Oh, that was the way it was back then. I mean, it's like I get a kick out of how people like just all of a sudden have amnesia about what the 80s was like.
I never
You
saw
know,
it's the first time I've ever heard of it. No, it's not amnesia, it's just I never heard of it because
you know,
look, Andre the
it,
Giant, Hulk Hogan, Jimmy Superfly Snuka, Rowdy Piper was my favorite, really, when it came, because he was Canadian, and see, that's one of the things that Vince did, the way that it was sort of like a mafia type.
yeah, he was
you know
pretty bad.
Pardon me?
He was pretty bad.
Who?
Vince McMahon.
What do you mean, like wrestling mafia?
He was bad in a lot of ways. Like he was a lot of people believe that he was actually the one who was supplying the steroids to a lot of the wrestlers.
I don't think he was. No, no. He just wanted
Um,
bigger. He just kind of, with a wink and a nod, it's like, bigger wrestlers. You figure it out. What's it going to take, right?
well,
That's yeah.
you know the whole story about Elizabeth, right?
How she died?
Hmm.
She was addicted to pills, wasn't she?
And well, I believe who was it the Macho Man? No, it was
She left
not
him.
Macho Man.
She
Yeah,
they were split up.
and she was with, was it the Ultimate Warrior? It was one of them. It was
Mm,
he was actually in the front room getting high and didn't even notice that she had died.
yeah. Well,
And it got pretty tragic.
that's a big problem. Not just steroids, but all kinds of exotic drugs and stimulants. Um, in the world of professional wrestling, a lot of the painkillers too, just because of the demanding schedules every bloody day, day in day out. It's bad enough as a professional because they're performers, obviously,
Yeah.
but you're beating your body up like that, just over and over again. Bad enough as it is with just as a professional touring musician. You think of those wrestling bastards, like, holy jeez. Chris, you had something you wanted to add to the? I mean, there's a lot we could say. I don't want to spend the whole show talking about The Dark Side of the Ring, though, great series, and Mr. McMahon. If for those of you out there who are into torrents, this is our value-added content that we're offering you right now. So make of it what you will. Yeah, go ahead, Chris.
No, I was just listening in. I didn't know I was unmuted.
We heard you
I
cough and
didn't have
clear your
anything to
throat.
say. You're right, right.
All
I was actually coughing from other issues.
okay. Too much house flipping on your
Complications.
hands these days.
That's right.
That takes like yeah. What would they have those melees, the brawls, the big brawls where you'd have all the wrestlers
Battle Royal.
battle royal, yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I knew it was I knew it was fake when they came
It
along with
wasn't
the
a battle
Undertaker.
royal. It wasn't a battle royal.
Royal Rumble.
It was the
Rumble.
Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
Right.
See,
Royal Rumble.
Jaffe does remember a few things from those days as a young teenager. I used to be into sports like football, baseball, hockey, and then I
That
came
may
to
have been where that guy started his whole "Are you ready to rumble?"
Yeah.
Are you ready to rumble?
He got so famous off of that.
Yeah,
I mean,
it might have been from the Royal Rumble where it started.
Well, and then Hogan with
Would make sense.
Rocky 3. Rocky 3 and Hogan, how about, that was a big deal. How about Andy Kaufman?
yeah, that's
Speaking
something
of,
I actually liked right there.
well,
That was
yeah,
a cool story.
that was sure, yeah. And who
That
was
was a
his
cool story.
his adversary? Was Jerry the
Jerry
King
Lawler, dude.
out of Memphis?
Jerry Lawler.
Was he out of Memphis?
Yes. I don't know exactly where he was, but crossface chicken wing, baby.
Oh God, that was just epic. That whole story, and yeah, his Andy Kaufman performance art, and
those two were awesome.
He was he was a heel, huh? Wasn't he? He was such a heel.
I mean, it was like Andy Kaufman and
beating up on women.
Yeah.
It's like I only wrestle women. Yeah. Then I mean, you got some tough women wrestlers. Let's not kid ourselves. Like but
it used to get the audience so fired up though. Yeah. Like those women wanted to climb up into that ring and just tear into his scrawny little butt. Dude.
Well, that's a good point, because so many wrestlers they get stabbed, and I think even some shot at, and and this is just because people they not liking. Kayfabe. Thanks Gary. Thank you. Now, what does that stand for exactly? I tried to figure out. It's like an acronym. Yeah, kayfabe, and that was in place for quite some time, and then finally, I don't know, like who is it? John Stossler from whatever, the news network had sent him out, and then he's like, he got smacked in the head a couple times, and I guess apparently still to this day suffers, from I'm not sure if it's tinnitus or ringing in the ears or whatever the deal was. Hey, Yuga Wing Chun Kempo saying Claudia Scheinbaum is tight with Carlos Slim. And Carlos Slim is an Mexican billionaire, someone that Jesse Ventura, I guess, there was attempts to recruit Jesse. Speaking of wrestlers, Ventura to help, to host a news show. I'm not sure if it was through RT or what exactly. So, well, we should be on Facebook today. Zane, not sure. Yeah, sure. We're on Facebook, are we not? Yeah, we are. We're on Facebook. So, thanks for leaving the link there as well, too, Sonia. Appreciate that. Support the show. Get your pirate T-shirts, and the prices themselves, they're pretty, really fairly priced. Maybe a little too fairly. actually. Like, but coffee mugs, not even, I don't think $15. Is that right? And
I
t-shirts,
think,
20.
yeah, something like that. They're like 11. They're like 11. I think they're very affordable, more affordable than coffee mugs anywhere else. So,
do you recognize that guitar player, by the way? Didn't I rip that off of your profile? I thought I did.
let's see.
Yeah, this is a band. That's a band you checked out there.
Oh yeah. That was
Who are
the
those guys?
backstage crew is what they're called. Yeah, they're there. Dudes are cool. They're sweet. They have a lot of fun.
They do like classic rock covers.
Yeah, they do covers. They go around to all the Sun City bars out here. In Sun City out here is a place where all the retired people live.
Right.
Yeah.
So they go and rock those guys out. Yeah, for sure.
Oh, that's
It's so much fun though.
Oh man,
So much fun.
I almost
Yeah.
envy them. I almost really.
But you don't want to
I can
live
see
in
you
Sun
doing that.
City though.
No, not so much.
They got like a curfew and stuff.
Yeah, people ride around in golf carts or whatever.
Oh, so
Roger knows.
Yeah.
It's one
Like
of
the
these
entire
gated.
town.
It's a gated community, then, I guess. Is that right?
It's too big to be gated.
No, it's a city. It blends
it's just-
into Phoenix and all that, and Glendale.
They're
and all
literally all old. Okay.
Yeah.
If they're young, they're visiting their parents.
Uh-huh.
And that's about it.
All right. Shifting gears a little, just because we see the picture here coming up. Mark frickin' Carney, Canada's Prime Minister, going to the Ukraine saying, we'll lend you. Canada stands shoulder to shoulder behind you and support the Ukraine. Well, ask Canadian people what they think, because I don't think it's that simple. He'll throw, taxpayers' money. He's got no problem doing that and just kind of gifting, freely gifting billions of dollars. And let's not forget, so much of that then in return is laundered back. It finds its way back into the Liberal Party coffers, much in the same way as what was happening via the Biden, the DNC political machine, and it didn't even all the dirty money that was making its way back, to the Democrats was not able to help, reelect. Well, actually, no, that was right. Yeah, senile old Joe kind of, I'm not sure if he was forced to drop out or I can't even myself recall exactly. He was pushed out. It was more like he was sort of pushed out, but he shouldn't even run in the first term. Those were my thoughts back in 2020. It's like, why do they even have this guy? And then they use the whole COVID thing as a cover, which makes you wonder. It's like, this is kind of is this just a coincidence here or what? They say in politics, timing is everything. Presumably that includes launching fake, fear-driven scamdemics where everyone they feel compelled, coerced into, having themselves shot up with these all sorts of exotic toxins, that in all too many instances are going to prove, to the point of being deadly. Obviously, it's what we're seeing with the case of SAD, sudden adult death syndrome, myocarditis, pericarditis, strokes, you name it. So look at that. Hey, do you guys know where that picture comes from? That shot there, that slide, the giant mud fest.
I can't see it.
Do we not have screen share on?
Yeah.
I thought we did. No, we don't actually. We don't. So
I'm seeing it. Oh, not on here though.
Yeah, you're seeing it elsewhere. There we go. So, anyways, Burning Man turned into a total. almost like a literal shit show with dust storms and then floods.
Anyways.
Dust storms and then rain. Go ahead.
That's not uncommon. I mean, last year they were mud surfing, so
Where
they
is
were
it?
kind of stuck in the mud.
What state is that? Nevada?
I think it's somewhere in between Nevada, Arizona, something like that.
Is he crapping himself here, or just trying to take a really big fart? I can't figure out
What are you
which.
talking about?
Carney there with his
Oh,
running his Clown World, head of the Canada's Clown World operation. Yeah, bring them all in. Bring them all in. No questions asked. Yeah. To hell with the Canadians that were originally here. What do you matter? We don't want your votes
but yeah,
anyways.
the I think that's kind of part of the Burning Man is it's like a rite to passage dealing with whatever weather logical events happen that it's like you know you got to weather that storm and you come out a different person on the other side.
I guess, yeah. Isn't it? I mean, a lot of really like you got people like Elon Musk and some pretty well-to-do folks that are helicoptered in. There's like a private landing strip and the whole thing, really. So,
They probably started it.
yeah, well, no, yeah, exactly. They got like the feds are there incognito. They've got all sorts of intelligence creeping and crawling all over the place, and who knows? They're continuing their drug experimentation. I'm not sure how many people are being abducted or tortured or whatever. There is an orgy tent, though. I guess that's a big deal. It's always make something of the, So not exactly. I don't quite get that. That's just kind of a little too creepy. And but some people I can understand it. It's like if it feels good, do it. It's like free sex, yay. It's like
Free herpes, yay.
yeah.
Free herpes, yay.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Exactly. That's right.
Let me get some of that chlamydia. Woo!
Yeah. So, Shot Dead, David Wilkes says here. I'm not sure who this refers to. Shot Dead. And then Gary James talking about kayfabe, believing it came from Pig Latin. That's just run a search on kayfabe, the wrestling for their secret kind of code. Just don't let it slip how everything essentially is being scripted here. Not that they aren't talented, like really ferocious gladiators, athletes, warriors. But
I'd like to ask you something, Jeffy.
yeah, what's up?
I would like to ask you if you own a pirate shirt, like a fluffy white type of pirate shirt. Do you have one of those? Just curious.
Fluffy
And
white.
Oh,
with the fluffy arms and
oh,
stuff.
the old
Like
style.
the pirate. Yeah.
I was trying to process fluffy white. Why does this sound gay as shit?
It's like totally gay. Yeah, that's pretty
It's
faggy.
pretty cool. Are you kidding me? That's not even gay.
No,
that's super
no,
cool.
It just sounded gay.
It did sound gay.
Like,
it did.
Super
but
cool.
Any guy in a pirate shirt, putting a pirate shirt on, it instantly makes you 10 times more masculine than you already are. It's just how it goes.
Super faggy.
Ask any chick, really.
Well, it works for
sure
Johnny Depp, I think.
We should take a poll.
Sure, there were gay pirates too.
That's a good point, actually. No. Well, hey, if it helps to if it helps to they'd say in the UK pull a few more birds, that means like you're able to hook up with the women essentially. That I'm sure the men would be down with it. Why not? Many of them do anything to
right
to score that. So
Shit, a bunch of dudes sailing on a fucking ship for months at a time. I bet that's how the fucking gayness fucking bullshit started.
It started.
How many? Oh, by the way, how many f bombs has it been? It's totally a homo culture. There's that's why big time.
Oh my
But how many f?
gosh.
No, homo just mean the same. Doesn't mean they're going at it
I know
necessarily.
what, yeah, you
Yeah,
defined that last
but
week, actually.
Chris, uh, you've got how many f bombs now? That's 10 doubloons to the
I
potty. So we
mean,
are.
I
Just
didn't hear an F bomb.
no,
I
you.
thought
Swap
it
the
was
deck.
Not
a
you. Yeah.
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 Uh,
Schwab my balls. How about that?
Yeah.
Schwab my sweaty pirate sack.
Oh
There
my
you go.
gosh. You
Speaking of gay,
guys,
you've corrupted me.
apparently.
We've been too long out at sea, Billy. Arr.
Yarr.
Arr. Time to drink your rum. A little more rum. Arr.
A little more rum.
Oh
Arr.
God.
Oh jeez.
I want to go home.
I know, right?
I just want to go home. Take me home now. Poor guys.
Walk
So
like
Sonia is turning pirate ship into the Love Boat.
yes. She's
Yeah.
trying to. A little bit of it. It's a new kind of pirate thing going on, you know?
I went to
It's like
Burning Man and all I got was this STD, is what Zane Ivy says here. So that's yeah, yeah, yeah.
Ew.
Burning Man, burning crotch. How about that? Yeah. Yes. So okay, I'm just trying to keep up to speed with the with McMahon facing serious allegations of sexual trafficking and assault from a former employee. That's where that's where they during this Mr. McMahon series actually they shut down the filming. Interestingly, if people watch that in real life time, there was like news breaking and he just walked away from the the filming of the documentary series. So there we go. All right, I think that's about it as far as comments. We'll check the beam as well, which pretty much is quite similar state of affairs. But keep the comments coming. Who knows? We might make that 100. Got to be 100 comments altogether, basically, one form or the next, and be able to repost that over on X, aka Twitter. So Trump's health. There's some along with things happening as always out in space. Burning Man. There is this business of the deaths of the 15 SEALs from Gold Squadron. Yeah, they got rid of them. Most of them. It really just the optics, didn't look good. What's the latest on the ostrich culling situation in Canada? We want to know. It's these assholes, these creeps. Like you think like peace, order, and good governance. Is that really good government and good governance? What they're doing in going after those ostriches? Just hell bent. They can never back down or reform or alter and say, well, okay, we thought it was a problem. We thought it was a problem at that particular time. Now it appears as if things have worked themselves out and there's no risk. There's people, work around them 24/7. There's been no further issues or outbreaks, and there's no reasonable or there's no logical sense for us to pursue this any further. But no, they've got to be the most arrogant, extreme, radical, people just that you can imagine. That's a huge. This is it's the epitome of absurdity. And do they really think that they are improving their sense of legitimacy and credibility? in doubling down time and time again with issues such as this. It just
I've mentioned the horse issue though too in the past too,
what
and
horse issue?
they have they've always called horses the same way. It's like the way Canada treats the horse population in Canada is atrocious.
Oh, the wild horses?
Yeah, they call them. They say
Oh,
that they're invading ranchers' property and that they need to be taken care of.
yeah, wolves similar, and now that the pigs on the border. I'm not sure if you heard about the pigs as well, the wild pigs and boars. That's a big issue, I
Mhm.
guess.
I
They're
mean, boars I can understand,
they're
but
shooting them from helicopters.
mm,
Because
uh,
speaking of invasive species, if you look into it, like if you've seen any of the documentaries, any of the investigative news coverage.
they have problems with boars down in Florida too, though. It's a real bad situation down there. They'll come out onto the streets and attack people.
Uh-huh. Yeah, like the monkeys in India, I guess. Zac Efron is a yacht boy. I've heard of Zac Efron. Not it is what it is. Interesting little YouTube video that came out recently. He's out on the yacht. Has everyone heard of yachting? Heard of yachting? Know what that's all
Yeah,
about? Well,
I know it's a bunch
No.
of rich people,
What is
isn't
it?
it?
What is it,
yeah.
Jeffy?
No, Roger, go ahead. What's your take? Yachting.
A lot of rich people now are getting on the internet and they're like pretty much making videos of all the great things they do on yachts, and not all
Oh
of
my
it's
God.
pretty.
That's
Well,
None,
hilarious.
I'm not sure if you're trying to make a joke or not, but it's not quite it. No,
It's
no.
hilarious to me.
They're wealthy, yes, because I
So
mean, you can't be a poor like a homeless person and own a yacht,
well,
not
what
unless
they do, I'm trying to be nice about it,
Carney
to be
gives you up.
honest. They
they're
they are.
basically getting these rich, uh, affluent, whatever movie stars. So Lindsay Lohan was one. One of the Selena Gomez, maybe. I don't know all these people, but they're getting their time on the yacht, and whatever happens while they're there is kind of hush hush. They don't talk about that.
What do
But
you mean, like with movie entertainment industry insiders,
yes, exactly,
the ones who can either make or break their careers?
exactly. So they're either gonna be on this yacht, and when I tell you to be, or you're not gonna be in the next whatever movie or that type of shit.
Disney feature.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's
Well,
been
but
talk of like uh abuse and shit, and uh crazy
I
crazy
mean,
happenings.
it's broader than that. Even those are like the really high level exclusive deals that are speculated upon, whether Zac Efron spending quality time with an older gentleman who finds him,
Yeah. Hmm.
fair and comely. Uh, that's how they used to say it in the old days. And don't ask me how you spell comely either. Uh,
Uh,
Figure it out for yourselves.
Well, it gets a
But
little bit more
but
intriguing because it's got like yacht branders, brokers,
oh,
charter companies. All of them are involved in this in the backstage. It's like he was talking
but
about.
also just
Yeah,
young-ish men and women, whether pleasuring, just as a escort, essentially, and a companion for the weekend, or who knows, a certain allotted amount of time, and in exchange for that, they're gifted monies,
Hmm.
or what have you. Maybe
Yeah,
at the highest level is
his
like movie contracts, millions of dollars, but just more just a run of the mill. From what I understand, it's just it's just another form of prostitution, really,
Yeah.
in a
Yeah, they've.
kind of polite way as possible.
I think I may have
Wow.
watched the same video you watched on the Zac Efron thing, and he was talking about his net worth. His net worth has like increased a bunch from like in the millions to over 400 million.
After the trip,
Yeah, well, since the last few years of doing the yachting.
giving it up to the old man booty bandits.
Yeah, so it's not like
Oh my
he's
gosh.
been doing this for just a few trips. It's like years of him doing that.
Yep. And then they get
Crazy.
into dangerous stuff too. Like they have a whole bunch of stuff like high speed freaking chases and stuff.
With the
They get into
paparazzi?
yeah, and it's really it's actually dangerous too. Like the stuff they're doing, it's getting out of
Crazy.
hand with all that stuff.
What do you mean? Why with the paparazzi?
No, they literally do like extreme stunts and stuff like that on their videos, and
Well, for
it's getting a lot
for
of it.
social media, just
Yeah,
to try to get the clicks.
yeah, speed chases and like extreme stunts, and they're doing it for freaking the attention. It's it's really a lot more than just like the pretty girls and the OnlyFans chicks.
Hello.
Mark, we got you back.
There
Hey
it is.
now.
Hey now.
Dreagus Productions.
Hey, Mark.
Speak now or forever hold your peace.
He's
He just
muted.
comes in to say hey, and then
I don't know. Maybe
disappears.
he might be babysitting or something too. He has to take care of the kids.
Taking care of your kids
Quite
is
a
not
lot.
considered babysitting.
Well, I'm gonna
okay?
have to step out because my headset's about to die, and I don't want to be
All right,
polluting
I'm
the
back.
noise.
Okay.
Sorry, guys.
Okay.
They do better.
Chris,
It was
do
good.
better.
Good to talk to y'all.
And
You
where can
too,
we find
Chris.
you? On minds.com,
That's right. Minds.com at Chris Do Good.
right?
Two O's with the do. Emphasis
Man,
on the doing things.
Doing it.
Okay. So it's
Doing
like
it and doing it.
so it's like better do.
That's right.
It could be bad. It could be dirty. But this is no with him. It's he has this new improved
better.
brand. It's a better do brand.
That's
that
right.
he's-
Doing it better.
Who wouldn't
Do
want
better.
this?
Doing it
Yeah.
and doing it and doing it well.
he always has like this really
Back to
cool
Atlanta.
freaking saying.
Happy sailing, Chris. Take care. Maybe
Yep.
see you next week.
Thanks.
Hey,
Okay.
Chris.
Cool.
Mark.
Peace.
Mr. Mark Dreagus Productions. Yeah. Thanks for
Yeah,
connecting with us.
I'm here. I'm just I'm getting set up and switching over so that I can restream as well.
Okay. Yeah, and
Give
we're
me a
gonna.
minute, and I'll be back in.
Oh, sure. Yeah, we're gonna be cutting away here too. I'm not sure. We'll get a notification probably shortly, and then we'll cut away to commercial break, of course, as always, and then kick off the back end of this show segment number 330. So I'm just gonna try to slip in a little back end yachting joke. But
Say it.
I figured no, I
Did
just
I?
the back end of
I
the show with
Wow.
Oh,
With
I
yachting.
thought I
That's
ruined the.
amazing.
more high stakes,
Hi-
big money yachting.
That is so really crazy. The yachting thing. Is
It's
so
it's
crazy.
weird that you
Ah.
brought that up though, because like
It is
freaking
weird.
because I've never heard anybody actually mention it. It's something
Well-
I've been noticing for a while now.
Okay. Well, Zac Efron that caught my attention, and then it was William Ramsey. Actually, people check out William Ramsey. He's doing just going, firing on all cylinders right now, going great guns, putting out all kinds of great quality material. interviews with any number of high-profile authors. We've had him on the show multiple times throughout the years. So, maybe get him back, maybe 2026. Time to maybe reach out, reconnect, see what he's up to. But yeah, he first told us about that yachting business a number of years ago. We had no idea either. Uh, uh, you know, Prostitution, I guess, is one thing for sure. And that's something where the young women in the Epstein files and that whole sordid ordeal that went on for who knows how many years, they ended up, if they had not accepted the money, they ended up putting themselves in sort of a, well, they were underage prostitutes. And the reason is, and exploited minors as well, but they were underage prostitutes, young teenagers. And because they took the money. If they hadn't taken the money, it wouldn't have been the case, right? So, but and there is actually something. There's more coming out. What do you think's gonna? How do you think it's gonna play out, the Epstein files? And are we just gonna see more of a limited hangout where Trump is every time Trump's name comes up, it's redacted, or what exactly? It's like originally the Trump or the Epstein files, these multiple volumes, and then all the redaction of Trump that needs to be done. It kind of finds itself a lot smaller, slimmer type, more modest release of information. So
I'm starting to believe it's a distraction because like nobody's talking about P Diddy anymore, are they?
P Diddy, but who do you think is more?
Who do you think hung out with both Epstein and P Diddy?
Trump?
Yeah.
I haven't heard much about that at all. Like maybe I don't think he didn't hang out with P Diddy much. I don't think. Did he? Come on.
Yeah.
That would have been more
Actually.
Obama. Obama was, man. Just and play. For it's all because you got to basically with the whole political thing, you've got to you know spend time with the
Well,
right
I mean,
people and win their support and
think about it like this though. Since all of the controversy came out about Trump and the whole Epstein situation, like that was just at the end of the trial for P Diddy, and everybody was making movies and talking about P Diddy this and P Diddy that, and now all of a sudden it's about, oh, how could Trump say that horrible stuff about people who believe the Epstein conspiracy, It, it just took off, what I mean? Now nobody even thinks about P. Diddy and what's going to happen with him. It vanished. They don't talk about it.
Well, P Diddy. See, he's who's more critical here. Who's a more important player within the wider picture, P Diddy or Trump?
Uh,
Epstein's dead. Maxwell's in prison, and now there's talk of him, Trump, that is, providing her with a pardon. Like that's pretty disgusting, if you ask me. That's a
hmm
sickening and disgusting. But if there's deals being cut where she's going to keep her mouth shut, you can see why. You can see why she'd be pardoned if that was, it's a quid pro quo, right? And if she doesn't, then she ends up like Epstein did. It would look really bad if she was suicided as well, obviously. And I
hmm
say that in sense of whether he's actually dead or not, because it could have been staged. There could have been a body double. Who the hell knows? I mean, just once again, coincidence, 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 right? How many
hmm
coincidences with his so-called death that all the cameras are off, the guards are sleeping. His prison cellmate was a friggin' raging lunatic mass murderer, cop killer. Like the Taglioni or whatever his name was. So like
He was not. That was Voice Invaded. There's a whole thing that Look Out for Charlie does on the Maglione. Are you talking about the Maglione guy that got into it?
the big dude that was a cop killer. He was like, just a monster
Well,
of a man.
they called him a cop killer. Maybe it's a different guy. I think the
Oh,
guy's name is
you're
Luigi
thinking about
Maglione.
Louis. That's a different guy. It's a different story.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. What do you got in your background, by the
As
way?
you were.
Is that on my screen or is that your screen? This weird kind of around your head there. It's like I gotta check this out. I think it's your screen. It's like ink stains.
I don't know.
Somebody's
It's part of the background, I guess. I don't know. Let's see. Let's check
Those
her
aren't
out.
ink stains, are they?
There's some kind of stain. I don't think.
I don't know how that would
we don't
be
want
on. Hey now.
we don't want to know what kind of stains they are.
Hey now.
Smile for us, a woman.
That
Give us a
definitely would not be
beautiful-
happening. Okay.
Somebody spraying and splotching.
Yeah, maybe that's. Oh, I bet it's on the picture in the background. I guess, right?
Yeah. Okay. We'll give you a pass.
Okay. Well,
find a different
I'll
different
find a different background for sure.
It's kind of cool. Give us some Phoenix lights, man. Like
something, huh?
Yeah, Phoenix lights.
I don't know. It's so weird.
So
weird.
Oh, by the way, just kind of shifting gears a little bit, as we so often tend to do. Heard the other day the Alice Cooper, is it Judas Priest. Let's say Iron Maiden. Judas Priest, Alice Cooper tickets are not selling as well as they.
I wonder why.
Well, I don't know. You tell us. We tell.
You want me to give you my opinion?
That's what you're here for.
Do that.
That's right.
That's what I'm here for. Yeah, I guess you're right. Well, I think it's because, for one, Judas Priest used to have all kinds of fans back in the day when I was a kid growing up. It was like, breaking the law, which is still super cool. But when all of us found out that Rob was like super gay, or we were like, whoa, it's really something to like, we had to reevaluate our whole like listening history with heavy metal.
Is that when they switched him out with another lead singer? Another lead singer was brought in around the time?
I don't know. I didn't follow him that closely.
Neither did I, but yeah, Rob Halford, and so you can see why he's all into the leather and chains, I guess.
Right, and that was like, because we were wearing leather and chains, and we were like, oh my God, I can't wear leather and chains anymore.
Yeah.
It's kind of so fucked up.
I can't even watch the videos anymore, dude, because it's like, oh my God, dude, because now you know.
I know, right? It's
you know
like
what?
that.
It's kind of funny because I'm not a huge metal fan or Judas Priest per se, but I've got a different my soul sense and sensibility. Maybe I'm a little too sensitive. I don't know, but
whatever.
But Rob Halford, I could see him being. He's more like, I think he's the man. He's the he's, what do you call the male, like rough? Is it rough trade or rough boy? He likes so, but the whole thing is like, it doesn't bother me. I mean, that's his personal thing. You see him in a different light, but at the same time, I mean, I might reevaluate the lyrics if I had a chance. But he did a great cover recently before Ozzy died. Judas Priest put out that killer cover of War Pigs. That was just wicked.
You understand what the leather represents, though, don't you? Like
bondage, domination, sadomasochism,
like gay bondage.
Gay bondage, though.
Well, that's
bondage,
okay. Well, that's
bondage.
Well, I don't really hang out. I don't attend those parties, and these are consenting hopefully they're consenting adults. If there's children involved, a little different story. But if these are consenting adults want to bash themselves over the head with sledgehammers, then or whatever, set firecrackers up their ass, then
you get it, Jeffy. You have to get it.
That's their business.
What if we found out Van Morrison was gay all of a sudden? What if
he's not? Well, he's not.
But what if you found that out? It would,
because we already found out that he's been straight his whole life and he loves women.
Calm down now. Don't get so defensive, bro. It's all right.
Now, someone I will though a cop to, as it were, is Springsteen. Speaking of yachting, check this out.
You're finally admitting that Springsteen sucks. Thank
It's
you.
because of my influence. It's 'cause of
Never
my
never
Good.
influence.
trust anyone whose initials are read BS. Okay, that's a dead
Yeah.
giveaway. So yeah,
Yes.
Ah,
BS. But no, look, man, I can art versus the artist. That's my one of the
I
points
know.
here. That, but
I
some
know.
people can't handle that. They're not. Oh, I guess maybe not liberal enough in their thinking. If I dare, you know, reference just frame it,
Well,
use
it
that
depends on
reference.
what form
They're
of
not open-minded
liberalism.
enough. So, anyways, the
You know what I
point
mean?
with Bruce, look, yachting with who? Obama, Tom Hanks. That's pretty dodgy. And then it's bloody Geffen. Is it Geffen, or was
Geffen.
it the guy from bloody? Who's the head of not Apple, but who's one of these other Jeff Bezos? What's he the head of? Amazon.
Yeah.
Amazon. Yeah.
Bezos, I think, is Amazon. Yeah.
Amazon. So, but you can look it up if you want. And so they're going with their wives, or well, Patty's been kind of sick as of late. Well, Bruce is very kind of gay friendly, I think. That's my definite sense and feeling. But yeah, he's been married with kids, and he's just, I don't know, man. He's open minded, and he's just like whatever, like live and let live kind of deal. So, and it's like a libertarian approach where if nobody's getting harmed, you got consenting adults. Do what it's none of my business. I don't want to know. It's like the don't ask, don't tell policy that used to be the case back in the day. And now I guess what is Trump doing with that as far as the military is concerned? He's kind of clean house, I guess, with the the transvestites
Transgender.
and
Yeah.
transgenders, and he's kind of clean house, isn't he? Are you
Yeah.
following that? So, but you
Yeah,
got to
he
wonder
is
what.
actually doing
Mhm.
that.
Okay, but what Bruce and Tom Hanks and Obama, like Obama's got a history, like very clearly, uh, a history. Obama, I'd be like he's flagrant kind of bisexual, not homosexual. He's just kind of bisexual and crack. He used to be into crack cocaine as well too. If you listen to the testimony of Larry Sinclair, I knew about Larry Sinclair years before, and we probably talked about it on the show. I'm sure we did if you go and listen to the archives before he ever appeared on Tucker Carlson. It took that long for the gatekeepers. Finally, this is the way the industry operates, folks. For Larry Sinclair to find his way past, the gatekeepers, essentially, even in alternative media. Thank God Tucker had him on his show. And, but people's memories are so short, including mine. And we have there's such a tsunami each and every week with the weekly news cycle. We're here taking notes, putting together stories. Hopefully, I don't know if do either of you or any of you do the same, or is it just left on my shoulders here entirely to kind of organize and gather stories, URLs, social media links, memes, pictures, that sort of thing. And that's one thing as well too. A reminder with Patreon, if people would like to, you can engage and sign up for free over there and just become a free supporter, a part of the Patreon community. And if you'd like to receive more, then make a donation, make a pledge, and we will offer you on a per item basis either the multimedia package end of things, or the Rogues Gallery after shows that we sometimes put together, the exclusive content that we record, or you can even like music and guitar lessons, for example, if you're so inclined. I'd be happy to help you out, and we can negotiate. You know, come to terms as far as price.
that's super cool.
Yeah, yeah. So you need to promote that a little more. The wife thinks I should play more guitar as well.
Yeah, I agree.
So
I agree. That song you sent me earlier was great. It was
that
awesome.
John Cougar.
Uh-huh.
Well, our
Yeah.
hearts beat like thunder. I don't know why they don't explode. You got your
Yeah.
hands in my back
Oh,
pocket, and Sam Cooke
yeah.
singing on the radio. Down, down,
Yeah.
down.
That's
You
right.
say that
Right?
I'm the one. You guys know that one? The old John Cougar?
Nope.
Yeah.
Never
I
heard
don't
of
know
it.
what. I think you're bullshitting us now. Totally. You're totally bullshitting.
Mm.
Oh, that reminds me, by the way, on Discord, on your
Uh
Discord channel, okay,
oh. I forgot to
there's a
post. No.
hold up, there's a guy on there named Austin, okay? You need to talk to him. I think you and him will get along great when it comes to music.
Oh, cool. Well, what's is he?
Austin Todd. You've actually talked to him. You remember Summer?
I remember
I
spring.
do.
No, Summer Todd. You've
No.
actually been on one of my shows with her.
No. Can't say I do.
She
But that's fine. We need to let's reconnect. Let's reignite the flame. 'Cause-
I think you two would love to hang out and just play music together and stuff
yeah.
and collaborate.
Anyone out?
Because
I need that. I need to collaborate. Because
Wow. He had to go into whisper mode for that.
no, because I can do a lot of put a lot of stream of consciousness material, and even like with the music as well, like writing, laying out the music. It's all rough form. Doesn't mean like you have to record what you put together. It can completely change. But
yeah,
that's why you need sounding boards, people to bounce the ideas off of and see what they have to say, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jam
Definitely.
session.
Well, thanks for that, Roger. I'll check that Austin out and let him know that I'm looking for him, and maybe he can hit me up with a PM or something too. So
okay.
I'll send him a
Yeah,
link.
like right now, I'm getting ready to write a story for my storyteller thing about World War One, and he's actually setting up the whole background music to where it's like an interlude from the story where his song plays.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked him recently if he's into like the I have a hard time saying this, Napoleonic Wars. And he
Sonia, you got to
said,
mute yourself out. He's looping through with the audio there. You've probably got him on YouTube, Sonia. Yes, you got that YouTube channel open again. Uh-oh. David Wilkes says we got boring guests. Oh God. Sorry.
oh no.
But David, I mean, I don't know. That's unfortunate. So the thing about it, when people criticize, that's fine and dandy, but
Who's David Wilkes?
he's a Facebook friend. But I would it'd
Oh.
really be more appreciated. It would give them more like they'd have like we would probably take them more seriously if they were actually patrons of the show and sponsored us. You know, that would give them
Suggest
more of
someone, David. Make a suggestion, David.
Got a suggestion for him?
Yeah, make a suggestion for a guest, David.
Or show
know.
up. It's like you always invite people on here. I mean, show up.
I think he's saying he's trying to say you guys are boring, maybe, or who knows? People just David.
Maybe he's talking about us.
And you're right. No, and David. Then David, you can you're welcome to join us here. I think we've invited him in the past.
We have a whole section on the website where you can suggest guests.
We love
cool
people. We love cool people.
So,
David,
if you're cool enough.
I'll put a link in the.
You like cool people. I prefer the hot ones.
Well, I love the hot. Cool
No.
people.
You're cool. I'm hot.
Like Sonia's about as hot can get, dude. You know what I mean? Like freaking anybody who freaking looks at Sonia and say you're boring is just completely out of their mind. She's hot as shit.
Thank you, Roger.
David Bowie.
You're welcome.
David Bowie was by. Yeah, I think we get that. That was not really like a well kept secret, frankly.
No.
Thanks, Jeff. You guys are great.
And he didn't really kind of sort of like with Elton John. He didn't really. I don't know. He wore his heart on his sleeve, I guess you could say, or wore his rectum on his sleeve. Is that maybe a better way of putting it? It's not really heart. So you're not banging the heart. Maybe banging with the heart, but taking some serious rectal damage. This one guy once responded. We were having a conversation regarding this whole biz, and he's like, "No, I've
Well,
never
have you
I've
ever
never done that
watched The
sort of thing."
Labyrinth?
What's that?
Have you ever watched The Labyrinth?
I've never done that sort of thing. I only like to
No,
I
it's
only
the
like to smoke.
movie.
I only like to smoke cock. It's kind of what essentially.
No,
I only like to, I
in
only like I only like eating
1980s, he
cock.
came out with a movie called The Labyrinth. Okay,
There's a sex
and
scandal.
it was one of the creepiest freaking movies I've ever watched,
Jim
man.
Henson.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it was creepy as hell because like he had this one song in there where it involved the little baby that he kidnapped.
All right.
And the baby's sitting there and they're throwing him up into the air and shit. And
Yeah.
like, dude, like that is so freaking creepy.
It's a metaphor. So pig hunts are pretty big business now.
Are you
Farmers
talking about Labyrinth?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Oh my God.
That was
The
a
ba-
creepy movie.
Yeah,
Pig
it is a
hunts.
creepy
About eating
movie.
the mic.
But Michelle Conley was great looking back then and still is.
And here's the
Yeah.
thing. Here is that I think this is who Bowie was, or maybe was it Sting? I think it was Bowie. Was there was a sex scandal story that broke where he was implicated in. Was it Bowie or I think it was Bowie. So in the movie The Labyrinth, yeah, with what's her name? Michelle Connelly, Jennifer Connelly.
Yeah.
What is it?
I liked her until I realized she had a unibrow.
Oh, really? By the way, we're looking
it,
at a dog there. Just recently passed away. Rainbow Bridge. Just
Mhm.
we do meet our pets again. Apparently, in the afterlife is kind of that's the science, folks. Ha ha ha. Afterlife science. People coming back with testimonies. Like, well, I flatlined for an hour. They had to, uh, they had to paddleboard me 5 times or whatever. I was clinically dead 5 times, flatline. But anyways, this poor puppy, he finally passed away after being rescued by this kindly soul. There's more Canadian. I think it's the CN Tower there, isn't it? So tent cities, yeah, wonderful. With Palantir. Interesting. That's symbols all about, but you can trust Palantir, can't you? So maybe not. Whitney Webb doing a lot of great work for people that are interested in finding out more about Palantir, what they stand for, what they represent, what they're engaged in. You have no idea what's coming. Speak of the devil. There she is, Whitney Mother Frickin' Webb. Buddy Mother Frickin' Guy. I'm kind of toning it down a little bit here, keeping it somewhat civil. Trying to keep up with the comments as well here, folks. But the pig farmers are a pretty big business now. Farmers used to pay you to have them to get rid of them. Now you have to pay farmers to hunt them. Zane Ivy, and that last comment coming to us courtesy of Gary James over on YouTube. Thank you, Gary. Zane Ivy saying that he'd like to recommend a couple of channels, YouTube channels, in fact, to upgrade our education. Ashton Forbes, Galactec, Signal Before Silence. I think this is the one that Robert Morningstar featured recently. We did, we had a conversation regarding Gnosticism last week. And I think it was Signal Before Silence that he was talking about. Archaics, historical chronology. All right, well, thank you, Zane. Appreciate that. Ashton Forbes, Black Text, Signal Before Silence, mostly para-politically related, and Archaics, historical chronology. Just hold, says David. It's not over yet. And I think that about does it. Sonia, sharing with us your courtesy of Facebook, a couple of key links. So we're going to cut away to commercial break here now that Teams stream has been lost. Reconnect with the gang here in just a few moments, hopefully. Most offensive thing about this cartoon is it's all true. Kalergi plan, open borders. Come on in. What could possibly go wrong? The gang rape culture in the UK and beyond. Yeah, let's not kid ourselves. Time to wake up. In fact, I'll just on that note reiterate, as was shared, I believe, last week, that via the Lakes District and Bulkley Valley, Central Interior, Lakes District and Bulkley Valley, since I don't believe their local media nor their constab, the RCMP, is doing much about it as of yet, so it would seem, if this is in fact the case. But word on the street has it that there are Indian migrants, and we know how these visa deals work, so many of them, pretty loose work tourism visas. Unfortunately, very little in the way of enforcement, or, I mean, you look at how things operate and are taken care of, governed here, essentially, via South Korea. It's a pretty no nonsense, no bullshit type stance where you can't really get away with much in the way of illegal immigration or residency. It just doesn't work, people. What's happening in Canada, the UK, all these various European countries, Australia? Why is more not being done to defend the borders? O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. That's the national anthem. Nothing more than empty rhetoric, or what exactly is going on. So it's a pretty sad state of affairs. We'll get back to that and the homeless situation, homeless crisis, really, starting with having to look no further than places such as London, Ontario, Vancouver. I guess we could pull up some of the stats, some of the numbers here. When we return from break, I'm not sure if this is the case or not, but apparently, yeah, Trump has replaced the presidential pictures in the White House with, well, in Biden's case, at least, it's an auto pen, is all that people are able to see at present, because auto pen was a pretty central part of his administration, is what it seems. That's the story that we're hearing. Speaking of legitimacy, just incredible. So, Red Dragon Herbs and Teas, bringing you guaranteed homegrown health relief. $25 or more. Let Ryan know simply one of two things, either pirate radio or pirate code, and you will immediately receive a 10% discount. Talk about a great deal. So, meanwhile, over on the CannaSense Cannabis Collective front, 5813 is our referral link number. 5813 is what you've got to take note of and share with them. And from there, ideally, everything else just automatically falls into place. We'll be back in just a flash here, folks. Do not touch that computer mouse or radio dial.
Medical cannabis is now legal by telemedicine. Get the medicine you need by getting reviewed for a medical cannabis card. Contactless appointments available at CannaSense.com. For as low as $39, you can get reviewed for a medical cannabis card. That's CannaSense.com for a licensed medical cannabis doctor review. CannaSense.com has all the information you need to get connected with a doctor for a $39 medical cannabis appointment. CannaSense.com. CannaSense is common sense.
Catering exclusively to the Des Moines, Iowa area and beyond. Red Dragon Herbs and Teas is a small, family-owned business dedicated to the creation of only the finest quality artisan herbal tea blends. Drawing upon many of the world's most richly established customs and traditions, Red Dragon Herb's mission is about more than just getting their products out to the market. They also strive to help educate their customers on the wider benefits, history, and folklore of all their plants. Of course, any seasoned pirate knows when they're fixin' to tango with the Kraken, you best be powered up with at least one of the finest select quality premium items freely offered via Red Dragon Herbs and Teas wide inventory. Choosing from any of their caffeine-free headache relief or rest and relaxation blends, history has proven their products among the best sources of scurvy prevention and vitamin supplementation. Red Dragon Herbs and Teas, bringing you guaranteed homegrown health relief.
Red Dragon Herbs and Teas, bringing you guaranteed homegrown health relief. Welcome back, everybody, to the final segment of this week's live streaming World Pirate Radio News episode number 330. I am your host, as always, the Robin Hood's Chief Communications Officer, Jaffe Ryder. I'm going to work on reconnecting here with the rest of the gang, see who's available and who's not. It can be a little bit of a tricky thing at times. If anybody's wondering who we're looking at right there in the slideshow, that of course was the legendary Lead Belly, someone who proved to be a major influence to countless young musicians growing up in, in the 50s, 60s, and beyond. Even myself, to this day, someone who you can understand. As with Hank Williams, people, Woody Guthrie, all the old blues men and women. Let's not forget about Sister Rosetta Tharpe. She was a powerhouse. So, just in, you talk about soul, rhythm and blues, sort of music that influenced Elvis, the Beatles, the Stones, countless others, of course, too. You name it. Look no further than, Lead Belly, one of the major players once again. Okay, so homelessness in Canada is in the crosshairs this week, along with pretty much just right around the world, if you think about it. Obviously, what more could be done? What isn't being done? How we could work on. It's not so much us improving our game; it's them improving their game. And they say, "Well, vote the bastards out, vote the bastards out." It doesn't seem to work that way, unfortunately. Hang hang on hang on a second there, Mark. There, we just opened your channel, so we missed out on that the little blurb you had to share with us there. But yeah, we're back on track. So thanks for being a part of things here once again this week. And thank you for Beam once again too. We really appreciate that. It saved $60 basically is what it looks like. You know, for now we got the YouTube and oh gosh, is it Facebook set up via Restream? They only allow 2 channels, but this Beam tie-in seems to be working pretty well to this point. So much appreciated.
I love Beam, and Angel, the CEO over there, has been interviewed by Censorship Sucks 3 times, I believe. Yeah, 2 or 3 times, and you know, it was great. It was really good having them in, and you know, they're a fairly brand new platform. I mean, they're a little over a year old now.
Angel hasn't even been talking to us lately.
Yeah, well, you know, Angel will taking he's super busy. I mean, this guy, man, he's all over it.
He's crossed swords with a lot of people too, really rubbing them the wrong way. He
sometimes
things that he said helped to lose a lot of our supporters over the years, actually. So, yeah.
Angel Munoz from Beam?
No, Angel Espino.
Oh, I'm talking about Angel Munoz from Munoz.
No,
from Beam. The
no,
CEO of Beam is who I was talking about.
No, you were talking about Angel Espino.
No, I've never had Angel on any of my shows that I know of, but the other Angel from the CEO of Beam, I have. We've been he's been a guest.
I'm just pulling your pulling your wooden leg. Don't worry about it. So, yeah.
Don't worry, I'll crawl back up in the crow's nest.
No. So what's his name? Munoz? Did you say Angel Munoz?
Yeah, his the CEO of Beam is Angel Munoz. Monuz.
He sounds like another Cuban Jew.
No.
He's not a Q Jew.
No. Angel, his family actually, he doesn't put this out.
Uh-oh. Why did we lose all the sound? I'm sorry. What? Oh, we're sharing the screen and it's messing everything up. Why? Way to go, teams. Mark, can you try again? And by the way, we do have.
Yeah, I'm still here.
We got Yvonne connecting with us. I'm not sure for how long. And Sonia.
Yeah, we got Lasagna with the witchy poo hat. Yeah.
That's out of season. Completely out of season. Although we're kind of working our way.
Yeah, next month. You got to wait one more month. Sonia, you got to wait one more month, though.
Yvonne, hang on a second, Yvonne. We'll get you to just Mark. We have to finish this with Angel Munoz. What were you going to say? We lost sound on this end. Sorry about that.
Oh, it's not well known, but well, maybe it is in certain groups and that. But his family are big into coffee, and they grow coffee and have their own label and all that. And before all that, well, I mean, after all that, he started up gaming competitions. He was one of the pioneers of that, of starting up, you know, like internet gaming and computer gaming competitions.
Okay.
And they would have like big ones and go
Good.
worldwide. Yeah.
Can you, since you're in contact with the guy, you know, we're shopping around, looking around, trying to scout out who would possibly be a good fit as far as sponsorship, further sponsorship for the show is
He
concerned.
won't do sponsorship. He'll ask you for money first.
We're not asking him for money. Just we're talking sponsorship so we can promote promote the products. He said coffee. He said coffee and
well, no, he you know, he that's his family's thing, not his.
Oh, I see.
All right.
Okay.
That's a total different monster.
Gotcha. Okay. Read you loud and clear. Yvonne Malenfant. I think we finally got your name straight as far as the liner notes or the accreditations are concerned there. So, yeah, welcome, Yvonne. How long are you able to stick around here for the better part of the final segment, or what are we looking at? Quitman, British Columbia. He is muted. Maybe he walked away, went to grab a sandwich, maybe a little plate of kimchi, or who knows what exactly. A former expat. Well, he's an expat here. Hey, don't ooh, Yvonne. He's married.
No, not Yvonne. Just kimchi.
No.
Not Yvonne.
That's an insult to the entire Korean race, which actually isn't a race. No, there's no such thing as a Korean race.
Wow.
It's totally fictional. It's made up. But
Kimchi.
yeah, Korea, and he did marry he's got a Korean wife, as do I, of course. So, kimchi's actually it depends. It's not so bad. You don't gobble down total, a bowl full of it, unless you're an addict, of course. But it's all right, and just in small portions. Was that Yvonne who tried to jump in there?
No. What is it?
Pickled, kind of spicy cabbage.
It's fermented, isn't it?
Yeah. They say you are what you eat. It's kind of, and it comes out of your pores too, right? So Koreans have this smell with garlic, kimchi, and soju, which isn't all that attractive, honestly. To be
sexy.
No, not really. But it does keep the vampires away. So there is
that's a plus.
There is an upside.
Yeah.
That's good because those vampires over there, they hop. They don't.
Yeah, way worse. Way worse. The hopping.
The worst ones.
Jeez.
The hopping vampires.
You don't have to worry about vampires because you can see them coming before you know that they're there, because vampires in Asia jump to move. They just jump all around.
They don't fly.
Yeah.
They don't fly. No, they just jump.
Everybody knows that, right?
Everybody knows that. Either that or, if it's a woman, what'll happen is, her head will pop off with her entrails, behind her, and that's called a Virgal. And, flies around and, feeds on, unsuspecting men and things like that. Yep, there you go.
Her head will pop where?
Not value-added content.
Pop out when she goes to sleep.
Oh,
yes.
I'll tell you I can tell you a few stories about Korean women's heads popping out, but not the way you just talked about it. So.
Wow, that's really interesting.
Horrible. Yvonne just left. He said,
I know. He's like, I can't even handle this.
Yeah, this is too much.
He's out of here.
Oh, well.
He's like, this, because he's got a reputation to uphold. He is a psychologist,
Right, that's true. Yeah, he can't be involved with all this.
Yeah, it's a little too mental
type of vampire hopping stuff,
How's the comments section looking right now, Sonia? You're pretty good at keeping a watch on things there.
It's looking pretty much the same as it was earlier, as far as I can see. Yeah, right. So we're good.
Fine.
Yep.
Let's now Were there any
No,
stories?
Just Rev is actually on D Live if you guys get a
Uh-oh.
chance
Just
to
Rev is
like.
there. I
Reverend
didn't see
Yeah,
him.
Jim.
he's very rarely ever able or on. You know what I'm saying?
Sweet.
Mm.
So it's kind of like an opportunity. I always, whenever he is live streaming, I try to go over there and give him some lemons because he's really a good dude.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Right
Well,
on.
we got him going on the whole thing. A lot of people don't know that, but we actually we tried to invite him back. Maybe if Sonia reaches out, she can work something out, arrange something
Sure.
for the fall.
Sure. Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
but it all started with the bombing, the Israel's attack on the USS Liberty, which then they tried to spin as, oh, it was just an accident. This is a typical excuse. We didn't know what we're doing. There, we thought that there was there were Hamas terrorists in scuba gear under your boat, so we had to try to take it all out. you know, like they're Hamas terrorists, yeah, in scuba gear hiding underneath that target, so we had to eliminate everything, and rarely do they ever apologize. Of course, we're talking the worst of the worst too. This is like Netanyahu and his radical Likud, I guess you would say right wing coalition. A lot of Israelis, though, they're not really down uh, with what Netanyahu's all about. I mean, it doesn't matter how many people go out and protest, so it seems nothing really changes. Until he's removed from power through whatever means, not much is going to change. He does have health problems too, it seems. So, what sort of an impact or factor that's going to play is anyone's guess. But the thing about it, and I fully believe, like you'd have to be a total, retard not to see that October 7th wasn't an inside job. Corporate media retarded, and clearly, full blown retarded. Basically, just cognitive dissonance. You grease the wheel. Who knows how much money they're having thrown at them to basically ignore the facts, whether it's Fox News, Sky News Australia, GB News out of the UK. And I like certain content that these networks, CNN, BBC, you name it. Uh, they can put out decent content from time to time, but there's other instances where they just completely shoot themselves in the foot and just, we all know what sort of reputation legacy media has at this current state and stage of history, and that's just as does government as an institution. One more reason just to throw the you know uh, complete radical extreme policies to embrace uh, weaponization of immigration, of course, and beyond, with allowing the illegal drugs to flood and various clear right across the map, basically run rampant. So I guess Trump, say what you like about the guy, uh, it's one of the things that he's doing that is a little different. Uh, we saw just recently in targeting the alleged uh, smugglers that were taken out, and I think that sends a pretty strong message. It was 11 of them in a boat recently, a speedboat. Where was that from? I have no idea. And where were they trying to uh, disembark or you know drop off their cargo? Is via the States somewhere, I guess, wasn't it? So, but I'm not sure if anyone has anything more to add to this as far as the talking points are concerned. But yeah, sure. October 7th, inside job. Netanyahu, total. Uh, he's a shrewd politician. Clearly, but he's a full blown psychopath as well. Let's. I mean, what? I mean, that's Putin, Trump. I mean, come on. That's that's just that's the nature of the beast, is it not? I mean, It's pretty
Well,
ugly. It's pretty ugly, and what I guess just what power does, and they've got their agenda. With we're talking Israel and the genocide in Gaza in particular, though obviously, and the humanitarian crisis, utterly horrific. And see the geopolitics. If you follow the Hegelian chain of events, from one event to the next, the thesis, antithesis, synthesis, problem, reaction, solution. They needed to allow October 7th to happen, just like they, needed September 11th to happen. So many of these major terrorist attacks used to then further, promote and pursue a wider political agenda. In this case, being the Greater Israel Project. Remember the PNAC documents, Project for a New American Century, the Greater Israel. So, and what did they have within a year or so of publicizing and publishing the PNAC documents? September 11th came about. So, how fortunate. One first time is a mistake. Second time, a coincidence. Third time, maybe time to wake the fuck up. So, but what do you think? I mean, I don't know. Do you
Totally
Well,
cussed.
the
Yeah,
the whole government of Israel has always been screwed. The fact that Netanyahu was prime minister like 3 freaking different times in his lifetime is pretty amazing. And then like during the 80s when a lot of the the really bad stuff was going on over there, freaking they had a split government where they actually shared prime minister. Like one was prime minister for 2 years, and then the other one was prime minister for another 2 years. So they've never really been legitimate. And I get a kick out of everybody when they bring up this argument that Israel is a legitimate state. Like their government has always been chaotic and screwed up.
do you know that every president, or rather prime minister, they've always changed their surname? Their family name is never the original one. They always change it to give it a more Semitic type flair and feeling, rather than the original like European version, because they're interlopers, folks. They're invaders. That's not. They have nothing. They have no connection to that particular region of the world
A
whatsoever.
lot of their government reminds me of South Africa during the time of
Apartheid.
whenever the apartheid.
Yeah,
And England has a lot of huge ties to that. So when you look at the common denominator between Israel and South Africa, you have to look at England.
Oh, big
That's
time.
why I don't.
Sure. Cecil Rhodes, where do you think? And you heard of Rhodesia?
Yeah.
He had an entire country
Exactly.
named after him. So Cecil
Yep.
Rhodes and the Round Table organizations, and
Yep.
Milner's kindergarten. Look, that's here's your once again the value added content. Hopefully, people will be generous enough to either share the links or subscribe or help us out in some way, because we definitely stand to benefit. Sure, Rhodesia and the Balfour Declaration, 1917's the Balfour Letter, dear Lord Rothschild. Israel is a product and creation of the Rothschilds, really. Has nothing to do with religion either. Secular, like ethno nationalism at best, really, primarily, first and
Well,
foremost. So check out
when
Norman
you say
Finkelstein.
ethno-nationalist, that's what really sticks out to me. That's the area that freaking I pay attention to, and like ideology, how it was formed in nationalism.
Uh-huh.
You
Almost
know,
sounds like Nazis, huh?
Well, it's the buildup of the Nazis. Like if you go back and you look at like Bismarck, the guy who unified Germany, and then you look at his predecessors. Okay, Wilhelm. Okay, now Wilhelm the First, he was just lazy. He didn't want to do nothing. So Bismarck created the government. And then when his grandson took over, he was the one who actually caused World War One. Okay, Wilhelm. I forgot his whole name, but
Wilhelm
it was
Reich.
this something like that. But
It wasn't Wilhelm Reich or the Orgon
well,
guy that the
but
feds killed in jail. They let him die, or they actively.
Yeah, he's the
yeah,
orgasm guy.
Yeah, Jewish.
but he ended up causing World War One, and that's because he wanted to expand his territories, where that's not how Germany was originally set up with
Austria.
Bismarck.
Hmm.
Bismarck is the one who actually unified Germany into one actual government.
Well, who are you
And
talking about? What? So this is World War One, but who is the
this is
old
before.
guy? Who is the old guy that was sort of a rival to Hitler as Adolf was moving up throughout the political ranks and German, the machine essentially. That wasn't another Bismarck. Maybe it was Otto Bismarck the second or third. I thought his name was Bismarck.
Now, Bismarck, there could have been a chance that he was
Who was the
still
old guy?
alive.
You remember the old guy? Yeah, he was the old guy. Kind of. He was like the Joe Biden of.
Are you talking about Otto von Bismarck, the Grand Duke of Germany, who was the
Yeah,
leader of Germany before
Hitler.
Hitler and all
Right.
them, and he was assassinated?
No, he wasn't. No, that's Archduke Ferdinand.
Oh,
that's
I'm
Ferdinand.
sorry, I
Yeah,
got that wrong.
You're
Yeah,
kind
you're
of
right.
you got half of it right, I think. Like maybe
that
Yeah.
was an That's an
Ferdinand,
interesting
yeah,
story.
Otto
von
was
Bismarck.
the one that was trying to take him out, right, or something like that.
Well, he was really old. He was not a fan of Hitler's, I guess. But he was kind of incompetent and kind of senile. He was pretty feeble and weak. Look it up Chat GPT or what have you. Bismarck, and Bismarck Hitler. Bingo bango
Well,
boom. So
I don't know for sure if it's Bismarck because I don't know if he would have been alive during World War II.
well, there was a Bismarck who was. I'm pretty sure.
It could have been like a son or
No,
grandson or something.
it's pretty old. He's probably at least this is night. Look, not 1933. Because Hitler came to power in
Yeah,
33, right? So he
yeah.
would have. He was an old man. This guy Bismarck was had to be like 80-ish or more.
Mm.
You know.
Yeah, 1898 was a German statesman and a diplomat who oversaw the unification of Germany. He served as its first chancellor from 1871 to 1890. And then his lifespan was from April of 1850 to 1898. He's the one I'm talking about.
Otto von
Now,
Bismarck.
yeah, von Bismarck, yeah. Now, he could have had a son or
When did he
family
die?
member. I just covered that. Let me go back. It's he died in July the 30th of 1898.
He
Now,
died.
yes. Now, former America. No, they don't. Bismarck's. No. Herb von Schlosser began to. They got a whole bunch of stuff on the
Okay.
thing.
Wow. So basically, just
Nothing
in
for
wrapping wrapping that up, the point being, what exactly? What was the original point you were trying to make?
with with nationalist movements and stuff during that time period, Bismarck was the one who actually created what would be National Socialism, which was he was a nationalist who they were conservatives who still believed in the monarchy. And instead of having to fight against socialist movements in Germany, he was one of the smart ones that decided to create welfare programs within the government so that it would pretty much take the wind out of the sails for the socialist movements who wanted to overthrow frickin' the economics there in Germany, because that's the way they were back then. They didn't agree with any kind of what do they call that? Oh crap, where you
Ideology,
no free market and all that.
laissez.
Capitalism.
Well, they're the
Capitalism.
communists. The communists. That's
Right.
who. That's
Well,
who Hitler was sent in to infiltrate and spy on, right?
right.
And then he
Yeah.
became one of them.
And well, anyhow, he took the cells out of it because he was the first one who created government programs that were welfare programs.
Otto von Bismarck.
Yes.
Was this following World War One?
This was before World War One.
Well, and who was paying for all this? All these free lunches?
It was Germany. German people.
So the bankers. Have you heard of the Bank of International Settlement? Look up Hitler. Look up Hitler Bank of International Settlement. Do you know that during World War II, bankers from both sides were partying together, fraternizing, just living it up, having a great time?
Yep.
So the
Well, I
story
know.
from people that were there on the ground, they have reported as much. They've said that it was kind of.
I know that
peculiar.
IBM
Internationalists.
was a big mover and shaker in Germany during the war. They actually made a lot of money off that war.
Palantir of the day, and they helped to get the Holocaust industry off and running, as far as data tabulation was concerned, and people's personal private information.
Yep. They didn't have to go out hunting the Jews down. They knew exactly where they were. They just drove up, parked in trucks, collected them up in the trucks, and they knew exactly where they lived, their address. They knew all of that.
Homosexuals, Freemasons, Jehovah's Witnesses. Now the Nazis apparently. What are you gonna say? Thank you. What?
Thank you, state IDs. Whenever the calling happens, you guys just be aware that freaking you're the ones that went down and got your state ID so that you can work your job and get taxed.
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes upon you, it's nobody's fault but your own, man. You allow this shit.
Well, and that's one more reason that the U.S. it's like the last nation standing, really, that really supports and promotes a strong Second Amendment. Thank God, really, it's been proven time and again too that guns save lives. That they end up a lot of the gang members too. Like you look at the gun stats with people like death by firearms. A lot of it is it's either suicide. Well, it's like okay, so they just, that's one thing. That's one way to do it, I guess, right? Not that we're endorsing that, but it happens. And then a lot of gang members too with the stats. It's like gun violence and deaths, and it's like, well, these are the gang members taking each other out basically. But in the instance and situation where you find yourselves, say, at a mall shooting, where and they're always off their medication, almost always. And the corporate media does not like to report on this. They avoid it at all costs, talking about the pharmaceutical and the things people, they're off their psychiatric medication. Big issue, obviously, with the homeless and many others. But that if you stop and wait to call the police, duck and cover, kind of quaking and quivering, waiting, waiting to for the police to show up. 14 on average, you lose 14 lives. 14 more lives are lost per incident than when you have someone there with concealed carry playing the role of Good Samaritan and taking out the bad guy or girl, but usually it's a guy, I guess. So 14 lives is those are the numbers that we're familiar with on average are saved with the mass, the shootings. And that's another thing too. Big corporate media doesn't like to report on that. It's like, oh shit, a good guy took out a bad guy, and one of these mass shootings, and it's like, we don't want to. We're kind of, and they were, who knows, like white or something. Oh, you can't have that. You can't have a good white guy. It's like, oh god almighty. So
Well, I mean, I get alarmed with all of this ethnic shit that's being popped up everywhere these days because that's very, very alarming when it comes to these movements. You know what I mean?
Identity politics. It's identity politics all the way.
Everything there's absolutely no real politics in the world today. It's always about ethnic backgrounds. It's about gender identification. This stuff is dangerous. This is what started World War I, dude. I mean, literally, that's exactly what started it. Between you were talking about Hungary, Austria, Hungary. Do you realize how many ethnic groups are in that area alone?
Balkanization. I think that's where the term balkanization first arose, if I'm not mistaken. But divide and conquer. See, and that's why it's with Canada, why they've thrown the doors wide open, because they need to keep people divided. Because if they're not divided, then they turn against their political masters. They realize, wait a minute, what are we left with here? Who's really running the show? And people need to be kept running around in confusion and totally like despair, incapable, not having the resources, once again unwell. That's where RFK Jr. really is doing a great job. Think of him or say of him what you like. My personal humble opinion. I mean, when's the last time we've seen someone like him really step up? As so often the powers that be, he's stepping up. It's the rhetoric they use, and but he is, and the big pharma totally despises the guy, obviously, and so they're going to make him out to be the worst thing possible. And that's another thing too. People need to remember within the world of politics, your adversaries, or if you want to say enemies, critics, they're going to make you out to be the worst person possible. They're going to portray you in the worst possible light, to make you look like either a fool or corrupt or incompetent, so that they can then steal the crown. Essentially, that's kind of the name of the game, is it not? So, but yeah, identity politics, divide and conquer, and the class-based end of things.
Eat the rich.
Yeah, eat the rich. I think, wasn't there a movie back in the day with Ringo Starr? Not sure who. Do you know how did that movie play out? What was the plot line?
They ate the rich. That's what happened.
That's great. Like literally eating their arms and legs, and
that's the whole philosophy behind the socialist movement. It's like the poor are supposed to rise up and climb through the classes and eventually be able to eat the rich.
How about eat the banks?
Just the rich.
It does. Who's richer than the banks? Do you know the best way to rob a bank? No, own it.
I thought you was gonna get all philosophical and stuff.
No, it's just short. Just To the point. Just own it.
I've
And
heard rumors. I've heard rumors about the Rothschilds' wealth. Okay, and I'll tell you something. Like you take all of the economies in the world, and what I've heard is like their freaking wealth is so large that it's 20 times larger than the amount of money that's being produced worldwide. Okay, and it eh, the whole economy system that everybody's used to when it comes to the to their economy is based off of the amount of money that's been generated by these powerful families. You have the Rothschilds, you've got the Warburgs,
yeah, the shifts.
the Schiffs. You got all of these people, man. That's old money. This goes all the way back to the 1500s.
Adam Schiff. Oh,
You
even
know.
it goes back to probably as far as Babylon, truth be told, you know.
Well, it goes back to the Italians. And Florence money.
Mm,
The Florentinians. They see a lot of people believe that the Rothschild family actually changed their names. They migrated from France and Florence and that region up into Germany in that area.
hmm
And it's old. Like they were the ones who started the whole banking system. You know what I mean?
You should talk to Robert Morningstar about the family and their backstory. He really breaks it down quite extensively. Esau and Jacob, taking it back in really ancient biblical times, and like the sons of Noah,
Hmm.
Japheth. The three sons?
Yeah, you had oh God, I did have them. You had
Japheth.
the Lamech too, wasn't he?
No, Ham and Shem.
Ham Shem, and
Japheth.
yeah, because I had to learn this crap with the Monty whenever I
Just
was in
remember
rehab.
Japhi and then
Yeah.
Japheth. So that's the Indo-Europeans. Supposedly is how the story goes. Ham, they're the black folks, and then Shem, the Shemites. The Semites. And not much talk in the Bible, interestingly, of the Asian people for some reason. Were all they were like invisible, I guess. Maybe they didn't exist on the earth at that time, or
Well,
they just were not considered important enough to write about.
well, you got to remember that a lot of that stuff is fictional.
You think?
Like in most of it, a lot of it's actually drawn off of ancient alchemy and magic.
Oh yeah.
Like when you read a lot of these religious texts, they've incorporated a lot of alchemy and paganism and magic into it. Like Jesus being crucified on the cross is so freaking alchemical, it's pathetic. That's transmutation. Um,
Mm.
and you look at the Catholic priests whenever or the wine, you know what I mean? Taking the wine and the bread and all of that. That's literally called transmutation in the
Yeah.
Catholic
Take
Church.
take this wine. It is my blood. Eat this bread, for it is my body. That's where the whole Christians were cannibals kind of narrative came from. I get that. Once
Mm.
again, we're talking earlier about adversaries, critics, opponents, people that feel they have something to lose. If you rise up and find yourself, uh, you know, becoming more popular, they want to portray you. It's in the straw man, right?
Yeah.
In the most ridiculous, appeal to ridicule, right? Oh, it's like, oh yeah, those lizard people, those lizard
Yeah.
people. Sure, and Elvis is still alive too, right? Yeah, Elvis. Huh? So
And I want to also make something clear too. I'm not saying that Jesus did or didn't exist. Okay. I'm just saying that there's been a lot of time since that time period to now. So a lot of things in the books that we read today could have been altered.
Well, we're talking the Old
Just,
Testament. Now you're kind of you're moving up to the New for some reason.
well, I mean, yeah, in both actually.
Well,
Like
but
even
here's the thing: was Christ a big Yahweh fan promoter?
well,
And
Yahweh is
the bloody, vengeful, wrathful, jealous God. Is that what Christ, do you think, was really all about?
well that Yahweh worship
No,
is, but
no,
yeah,
absolutely
No,
not,
not at
yeah,
all.
because
I
he
don't
Not at
he
think
all.
so.
concluded his prayers with
Let us chime in.
Amen. All right,
Yeah.
which goes back to Amun Ra.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
Yep.
yeah, no, he was not
Yeah, no.
part of
And
that. And if you follow the astrotheology part of it, you know, when you look at the cross, that's all points and directions, north, south, east, and west. And the
mm-hmm.
sun travels across the cross, and
Well,
and it always dies on the cross.
and the sun
That's
sets.
why, and right, and the sun can walk on water and it can walk on land.
Is it the Son of God or the Son
It's
of God? Which Son of God are we talking
it's
about now?
interchange. It's
Jordan
actually,
Maxwell.
if you look at it, it's very interchangeable.
I
So
see.
Yeah,
yeah.
it is. It really
So
is.
and it is the greatest story. You know, does it have holes? I'm sure there's some holes in it. You know, but you know,
Well,
I'm under the assumption too in thinking that you know, the Holy Land, yeah, it's holy. All their stories for what they claim to be is full of holes too. You know,
yeah.
so.
Well, how about the Piso
But
conspiracy?
what's that?
The Piso conspiracy. Pisonian.
What's that?
Well, and you know where like it's set like Pisces and the fish. So, which actually
Well, yeah.
it was a
Well,
Buddhist
that's
image
you know,
before.
we are in the end of times right now because we ended the times of Pisces and going into the age of Aquarius. So we're in the new era
Yeah.
or aeon.
The
So
Piso,
yeah.
the Piso had that's correct, but uh, the Pisonian conspiracy actually it had you could look at it in that way, that way in context of things, but also the Pisonians. I guess there was a group of Romans at that time who were thought to have helped create the New Testament. So the story
Mm-hmm.
goes, and
I'm posting the link for you now in the chat.
the fact that I think some say Christ never existed. I do believe he did, however, and it seems he had a rather large family as well. He was not a lowly carpenter by any means. I don't buy that whatsoever. He was, he traveled clearly, missing for 18 years, the first 12 years of his life too. He was in Egypt. That's how the story goes. And that Joseph of Arimathea, one of the most affluent. He was a member of the Sanhedrin too. Ultimately, who not that Joseph supported the death of Christ, but he did claim the body, and he was said to have been his uncle, which is something that Yvonne Malenfant took exception to my stating, but I've got it from a pretty reasonable authority that that was the case. I mean, clearly, if you have anyone claiming somebody's body after a very short time on the cross as well too, if you remember how the story goes, that Pilate was quite surprised that it was such it was a shorter than what most people spent dying in agony through crucifixion. But I mean, he was a tin and copper trader, Joseph of Arimathea, among other things. High, influential member of the Sanhedrin, who supposedly, an international trader to the UK, which I don't even know. They called it what? Was it Galatia at the time, or French Gaul, the UK, and Egypt, of course. And that's why some speculate. Yeah, I mean, I'm quite convinced that Christ was heavily influenced by Buddhist teachings and from the East. That's why you look at what we have here within the context and realm of time and space, both within and without, as we perceive it.
Well, that's why Indiana Jones went to Tibet. All right.
Did he?
First.
Oh, did it? Which one was that?
In the movies, and the
Which
first one, Raiders of the Lost Ark.
The first one,
all
he
right?
did?
Yeah, yeah, because you have to go to Tibet to find the key.
Well,
and you do not, to find the key, and then from there they traveled from there back to Egypt,
but
not to Israel, not to Jerusalem, but to Egypt.
You do understand
is where they found the ark.
Okay,
all right,
which is actually Ethiopia, according to Graham Hancock. But there was no Tibetan Buddhism at the time of Christ. You understand that, don't you?
Well, this was during World War II. Okay,
Yes.
Indiana Jones was going over there.
Right.
So this is Lucas telling, the story of how and why all the governments, the major governments of the world, were trying to find this thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a true story. All the governments, the major ones, were trying to find, including the Nazis, were trying to find the lost Ark of the Covenant, and like the Spear of Destiny and all that.
John Lennon.
They
John
were
Lennon.
all of the. I mean, some of that goes into Vril Society type stuff with Germany.
Thule.
So
Thule, Vril.
Yeah. When you mentioned John Lennon too, that's the reason why I always bring up the Stones' "Sympathy for the Devil," because at the end of it, a lot of people don't realize that John Lennon and his wife was in that video for the original one, and they don't understand that there was a huge cult following between those musicians back then, where they were doing some really weird shit.
Oh yeah. Like what?
I personally think that freaking
like communism, because John Lennon was a communist. We all know
Yoko
that.
Ono, I believe, was the one who was actually behind the Georgia Guidestones. I believe she was actually behind having that constructed, to be honest with you.
Oh, she not Ted Turner. It was all Yoko's doing.
I really think it was her, because if you listen to some of the stuff that she always talked about, and then you look at what was being discussed when it comes to those Georgia Guidestones, man, it just matched up. She believed that the population of the earth did need to decrease. A
lot of them do. Although during one interview, actually, where John was asked that straight up, that his response was no, that it was a misnomer. So Yoko didn't say too much, but you can, she's totally down with the phony, the counterfeit green agenda. And Club of Rome, folks, Club of Rome, look no further than, well, that's a good place to start. Club of Rome and the Rockefellers' role in all of that, of course, in founding the Club of Rome. And modern day eugenics, the experimental kill shots, and just how stupid so many people were. Although there were people like my brother who just got so frustrated to the point where he had, as part of his job, because he really, he loved his job, that he had to fly, that he finally said to hell with it. I gotta do this if I want to fly. So and then they turn around and say, we never told you had to do that. We never, what are you talking about? We never said that. So they just kind of, total gaslighting, flip around. Sonia, do you want to come in there? We muted you out, actually. Go ahead.
Yeah, I seen that. I was talking about that. That's probably why that happened more so than normal. But I just had something to share that was kind of a little bit off topic, but is really kind of hilarious. That I was dating this guy, and he was, I think he was like 21. He was super young, like super young. And I was in my, I think it was 41 or something. It was
Oh my
ridiculous. Like that,
God.
but
Woo.
I know. I get the young babies. But in any case, so it was funny because he was part of the whole skinhead thing, you know.
Oh.
And and I'm a tattoo artist, so there you go. And so I tattooed on his wrist. It was so funny. Oh my God, I've never told you guys about this, I don't think, but Sieg Heil, so that when he went like this, you would see it. And and we spelt it wrong because I didn't know what the fuck I was doing, really. I mean, as far as this, we even looked it up. I don't know, but we ended up spelling it wrong. And oh my God, he totally threw a fit. It was like so upset. But you know, I mean,
how difficult is it to change a tattoo?
It's not that difficult.
It's
not that difficult. Not for me, anyway. Because in Arizona, I've just fixed so many tattoos. It's crazy. But it was just so hilarious that you know, you get the no regrets thing going on or whatever people talk about. But
no regrets. Don't you mean regrets?
Yeah. Well, yeah, but they show it as like it being an accident. Of,
I see. Like you have a tattoo. It says no regrets.
Yeah, when you're trying to get the no regrets thing.
That would be funny. Kind of so, that'd be hilarious. Have somebody have somebody done up with tattoos that are all messed up. Like every single one has some weird little flaw to it, you know. It's like, but that's a reflection of how we are as people. We were flawed, right. You know. We're flawed.
Right.
So,
well, yeah, and he totally couldn't. I mean, he had to like change the hand he did it with. So
shout out to Sir Valance. I think we know who that is.
Yes,
DK.
Sir Valance. Yes,
Sir
we
Valance,
do.
welcome.
That's right.
I've got a cool idea to do the tattoo. Like, wait till somebody gets drunk and passes out, and freaking put a tattoo on their shoulder blade that says queer.
No, that's not even funny, Roger. That's like so not. No, that's so not cool at all.
Like,
maybe with like eyeliner or something, you know, but not a just real tattoo.
Queer, dude.
Jeff 5237, thanks for connecting over on Beam. You know, yeah, that'd be something. I guess so. If you're Roger, if you're down with that, next time, yeah, if you ever fall off the wagon, we'll have that just kind of painted out on your backside, your upper backside. And you're gonna wear it next, you're not even knowing. Stroll on down to the beach.
Butt cheek. Put it on my butt cheek.
Love butt cheek tattoos. When I visit you, I'll totally give you whatever butt cheek tattoo you want.
We got less than 15 minutes here, folks. I'm not sure how much less than 15 before it all wraps up. So Christian Laterre coming up with Montauk 2.0. It's going to be a good one. I'm going to work on getting some more audio book content recorded in the lead up to that, obviously. Some more product we can offer. He's even talked about maybe sharing it with the public on a monthly kind of basis, I guess, is what he's he's thought about. I just kind of bounce it off of him that like monthly installments, right? That's just kind of that
would be cool.
Just a release over a period of time, you know. So galacticfire.com, of course. That's where we can find you, Sonia Galactec, for all your t-shirt and coffee mug and various other merchandising needs, and so on. So Mark out of Texas, of course, our in-house wacko from Waco, Mark, head of Dreagus Productions.
Well, I'm not from Texas, but I live here, and I've lived here for quite a while.
And you're close enough to Waco, yeah. So,
yeah, I'm about an hour.
What happened there? In all seriousness, so like what happened there was horrific, and I'll just leave it at that. It was totally.
I wasn't down here at the time, and I was actually overseas at that point. So that was. But if you can go there right now, and it's a Walmart parking lot. I've actually shopped at that Walmart once because I was heading up that way, and I probably parked over, where
Jeez.
You know, the ATF was parked or something. You know,
That's
somewhere in there.
Oh well, and the ghosts, the
But you know,
spirits, the mojo, the cosmic
well,
mojo.
I don't believe in that crap. But anyways, yeah.
Well, no, you just until you experience it, and then
No, yeah. It's like, yeah, there are spirits out there, but they're not from the people. You know, it's not grandma, you know, or Aunt Susan.
What was it? Just animal realm exclusively?
No, no, no. The spirits were always spirits. They are from other dimensions that bleed through to us, but they were never one of us.
So what is it essentially then that inhabits us as far as life force is concerned?
Our soul, but we either reincarnate or go up the ladder, and when we go up the ladder, that means ascension to ascended being.
Or
okay.
Right.
Ascended being doesn't mean that you're a ghost. All right, in the sense of spirit, you know.
There is a ghost realm that the Buddhists talk about.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's, you know, everybody has different beliefs, and
there's
my
a lot
belief
of people that have
doesn't
reported
allow that.
A lot of people that have reported seeing ghosts.
I've talked to what you would call ghosts.
More than just one.
Yeah, no. Sonia and I have talked a lot about this, so she knows exactly, and she knows I won't budge on it too.
No, I'm just saying. Yeah. I'm just putting it out there and let the audience members decide.
Well, I've mentioned the Deva realm too. No, Deva realm. And for me, it just seems odd that Buddhists just kind of like blotted the Hindu belief of the Deva realm completely out. Like nobody ever talks in it.
What do you mean? Deva being what? It's a kind of god.
Whenever you evolve, like what Mark's talking about, the final realm is the Deva realm.
Before you liberate yourself from the wheel of rebirth and never come back.
That's the liberation. You go into the Deva realm, where you're pretty much godlike.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how big is your ego?
Your ego is deflated at that point.
I'm sure
you have to release ego to even get there. You can't get there with an ego.
So God, kind of like the Tao. What kind of an ego does the Tao have?
You see, and that's the thing. All I'm saying is it seems odd that the Buddhists just kind of like tried to void that out, like it doesn't even exist.
I don't know. I don't think you're right about that, actually, Roger. I'm not clear on what
I've actually had a conversation with you about this before.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
We got 5 minutes, maybe.
You know,
3.
It's a jealous god. You know the jealous god. I think it's called Azuras. I haven't studied this stuff in a while. It might be the Mahayana, which is a newer version of Buddhism, which came along around the time of Christ, and that's what I believe influenced the guy.
The whole point is there are no gods, though. That's the whole point. Is there are no gods in this realm? You realize you are the god if there is a god.
Well, we're the nodes. But
Yeah.
then once people die, NDEs, you end up having 360-degree vision.
Like the Hunger
you do that when you astral travel too. When you got into the astral, you have 362. You can have it in 3D reality if you so choose.
So basically, we lose ourselves, but in doing so, we find it.
Ourselves, yes. That's the whole inside, outside, as within, as without kind of thing.
Lose the self, find the source. Sonia, you got to turn down the YouTube again or whatever that is.
And that as within, as without goes back to ancient alchemy. You see what I mean?
No, come again.
That what you just said about as within it, as without, that goes back to ancient alchemy.
That was Sonia saying that, I believe.
Right.
She said that. So that's true. That's
it all interlinks.
As above, so below.
Right.
And that's one thing. It's like the Christians, the fundamentalists, just hate that. They just totally freak out and lose their shit over the whole thing. But it's like you look at Baphomet. They've got that going on, whatever that means. Wherever they got that from, I have no idea. But we have a little Buddha sticker. I've talked about this a few times in the past. A little Buddha sticker on our front door, and he's doing that. As above, so below. The first thing that he did was when he became enlightened. Supposedly, he was reach down and touch the earth. Jim Morrison.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, not to touch the
Yep.
earth.
Not to touch
What
the earth.
what was that
Yeah.
all about? I think he might have been reading a little Buddha story. He's like, this guy's full of
It's like
shit. No, we're
that's my
not
favorite
touching the earth.
song. The Doors.
Run,
Favorite song, The
run,
Doors.
run.
Love it.
Fun,
Yeah.
fun, son, not
Yeah,
to touch
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
earth.
yeah.
Not to.
Yeah.
It
That's right.
makes sense
That's right.
because he had a lot of conflict with his dad, who was a priest or a preacher, I
Jim
believe.
Morrison?
Mm-hmm.
That was his
Yeah.
father. His father was a central player
It
in the
was.
whole Vietnam
Yeah,
conflict. That he was
he
an
was.
admiral, rear admiral. Let's not
Yep.
go. Let's not go down that route right
Now,
now.
who was it then? Who
What
was?
it takes to become a rear admiral. But well, look, that's it. Game over, folks. Enough of the back and forth, to and fro. It was fun. Well, it lasted. We'll have to. What is the attack of the Gulf of Tonkin incident? That was a Rear Admiral Morrison. What was his first name? Was it George? Steve? Anyways, he did miss his son. They never did reconnect. Not in this time space realm. And yeah, by the way, fuck the Beatles. It's not it's even the Beatles so much as Apple and what they're doing, trying to just stick it to the public. And what kind of product is it that they're offering exactly? Anthology 4, I guess you've got to buy in order to get any of the new items. You're expected to buy the first 3 all over again. You can't get them separate from one another. So, and they're really scraping the barrel. Even Paul McCartney said that. Years ago, he talked about scraping the barrel. All these old tracks, Us and Them. It's well done. Came out last year, I guess is when it was. So was it Us and Them? No. Now and Then. Uh, Anyways, so I should listen to that song actually once we end stream here, which is going to take place in about 2 minutes. So before we do that, however, let us remind you that WPRPN.com is the website. Pirate One, that's the numeral one. No need to spell anything out. Pirate One Radio at protonmail.com is our email address. If you have any guest ideas or show concepts that you'd like to see us work on producing, more than happy to. Also, our PayPal as well, Pirate One Radio at protonmail.com. We have a Patreon presence. We have Pirate Booty available, mostly in the form of t-shirts and coffee mugs at present. We're half of everything we generate goes directly back to the grassroots, to the public. Keep that in mind. So hashtag good karma. Liking, commenting, sharing, always appreciated. Of course, free and relatively painless. So we would encourage you, if you've been listening to any or a little or maybe even a lot of the shows that we've been putting out there to the world, that you consider stepping up and playing your part, being that guy or being that girl, making a difference not only in our lives so that we can do what it takes to stick around a little longer here and not go completely off the air, but work on helping people out throughout the course of the year. Operation Secret Santa, of course, coming up here mid-December. Always a great jovial time of year, but we definitely could stand to benefit from more generosity, even just a sense of buying a virtual coffee for us, folks, or a virtual pirate grog. It really doesn't take all that much to make a difference. So, having said all that, yes, Christian Lattere is who we're looking at here. Coming up this Friday, the Montauk Project, along with Camp Hero and the young boys who were targeted throughout many years. It really goes deep, and it's a lot different than what a lot of people have been led to believe. With Christian, we're going to be able to get, once again, a straight goods. So 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 11 out on the East Coast. On behalf of Captain Long John Sinclair and all the rest of the crew here down in Skullport Harbor, until we meet again via these high, often all too intrepid digital seas, I'm your host, as always, the Robin Hood's Chief Communications Officer, Jaffe Ryder, reminding you, keep your ear to the ground and eyes to the sky. Steady as she goes.